son of a bitch.
Brothers don't shake hands. Brothers gotta hug.
Good morning, Vietnam!
Because you are my friend.
Here we go!
Hey guys, welcome to episode 8 of the Super Enabler Bros show. I'm Jason the Corpse Flood Gaming, along with my excellent co-host, Chris the Old Ass Retro Gamer.
What up?
And we have an extra special guest for you this time, Mr. Saru Maru.
Hey everyone, thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
Yes, thanks for coming to hang out. Why don't you introduce yourself and tell everyone what you do? And,
All right, so I do YouTube as well, but I also made this thing here, which I think that's the reason why I'm on here today, right? Is FX Unit Yuki. So I made this game here for the Turbo Grafx CD, and it's also available for Dreamcast. Shameless plug. But I do YouTube, retro gaming, Japanese gaming mostly. I've been playing a lot of the Polymega lately, which has put me a little bit on the spot on YouTube. So yeah, I make games, I play games, and I draw. I draw girlies.
Well, then you belong here. Because we love the games and we love the girlies.
I feel
Yeah, I like you got a pretty unique like kind of niche of games that you play. So I've learned a lot through watching your streams, and especially when you the collection streams, because I don't know that much about the Japanese games.
That's awesome.
But
That's actually kind of like the purpose of my streams, is to try to introduce people to new, weird Japanesey games that they may not have heard of before. So
Yeah, because I wouldn't have bought this if it weren't for you.
Oh, that's a good one too. It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not even a stream. It's
$10,
like going to school. It's like going to school watching the stream. So it's awesome.
Very cool.
So yeah, we kind of happened as a coincidence. We were wanting to have you on at some point anyway, but last episode, sorry, spoiler alert for anyone who didn't watch it yet, but
Shame on you.
We did our Backlog Roulette, and we both happened to have FX Unit Yuki under the same number that came up on the roulette, and
That's crazy.
I was like, we got to get Saru on next episode.
Yeah, the moment we both said FX Unit Yuki, we're both like, yep, Saru's on the next episode.
I started laughing. I was like, "Are you serious, man?" And you're like, "Yeah." I was like, "That's exactly what I have under that number." So it was meant to be, because it worked out.
Okay.
And, here we are, next episode.
Very cool. What are the odds of that, right?
Yeah,
I know, right?
Because we both got pretty big collections. It's not like it was like a 1 out of 10.
But the thing is, neither of us share our list with each other, so I didn't know what he has on his list, and he doesn't know what I have on mine. So the fact that we had the same game under the same number is just crazy.
Yeah, it's been pretty awesome. That's what I love about the Backlog Roulette. You never know what you're gonna get, and sometimes you get a
It's
pleasant
like a box of
surprise.
chocolates.
Yeah. Right there, Forrest. Yeah, it's always a hell of a time. So for those not familiar with what the Backlog Roulette is, we pick 38 games, 1 to 36, 0 and 00, and we add them to a list. We spin an actual roulette wheel, and it helps us select a game out of our backlog that, for whatever reason, we bought with the intention of playing. We're so excited and happy to get it, and then it just went on the shelf and collected dust ever since.
Basically, you mean everything in this room.
Yeah, I think most collectors are pretty guilty of that. When you go to a game store, you rarely ever walk out with just one game. You come home back with 12, and you're gonna pick the top pick, and then the rest is like, oh, I can't wait to get to these later. And then the game is amazing, and you forget, and something else comes out, and you squirrel, and you go, okay, I'm gonna play that. And that's why I never dedicate myself. Whenever someone says, what are you playing next? I'm always like, I'm a plastic bag in the wind. I just blow wherever I end up.
That's pretty much the life of an adult gamer, though, right?
Yeah,
Like,
right.
We're all busy with work and family and whatever else, that we try to get our gaming in whenever we can. When you guys told me to come up with a list, I'm looking at my shelf and I'm like, holy crap, there's so many games I haven't even played. There's so many games that have opened. I have so many games that are sealed, you guys, and I'm like, I should feel a little bit ashamed.
Well, now we're enabling you to play them.
Yeah, that's what we're here for. We're the Super Enabler Bros, and that's what we're all about. We enable you to buy that game, buy that movie, buy that figurine, play that game.
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself. That's what we're all about here. And we're also a support group. Yeah, we all have the problem with the sealed games and the
Video Game Collectors Anonymous.
The internal struggle of like, I don't need a game, but I'm buying 8 games right now.
When I'll play them.
Yeah. One of these days I'll get my legs run over by something, or actually get to retire, and then I'll play all these games.
Catch the COVID.
Definitely on purpose.
Hey, at least if you do, you get 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get a 14-day period and paid at work, so that's awesome.
Yeah, if I go across the border to get my mail, I get the same thing. But
what? No, you're exiled. Or actually, we're exiled from Canada. We're not allowed to.
Yeah.
We can't cross the streams.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know if they would even let me across, but that's exactly what would happen. I'd have to go into quarantine for 2 weeks, so I'd be living in.
Come on, Jason, one of us. One of us.
They wouldn't even let you in. They just hit you in the face with a sweaty bottle and.
I go across in one of those like hazmat suits from ET though. Y'all are crazy. Just give me my mail, please. So it's I've been actually getting a little trickle drops of my mail. My brother-in-law is super annoyed with me, I'm sure of it, because for the first time since early May, he went and picked up all my stuff from my PO box. Like anything I've ordered in the last little bit, they said just get it shipped to the house and we don't need to go out of the way. And I was like, yeah, respect, I'll do that. But a lot of stuff I pre-ordered has come out since they last picked it up. So I feel bad. I feel like an asshole, but COVID should be over. It's not my fault. I didn't make COVID still be going on.
Hey, no one has control over Florida, guy.
I would love to pick up my own stuff. So that's just how she goes. But I've been getting like a little like reusable shopping bag dropped every couple of days. I got one on Monday. I got one on Friday. So I got some new stuff. So I'm happy. One of the things I've been waiting to come in hasn't come in yet, but like we just said,
next episode.
I'm at no shortage of games to play, so it's not totally breaking my heart. But I did play a new game. You played the same new game.
I did.
And you created the game we played.
Oh, yeah. Except we had it on different consoles. That was the only thing.
Yeah, because you can't use your Dreamcast because it's set up for VGAs right now.
Yeah, fuck that thing.
Just trade it for another one or something. Just trade it in and pay the little extra and get a black one or something.
Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah, I probably should. I think this is the exact Dreamcast I bought in '99 on like $99.99.
Yeah, mine is my first one. I have like 4 now. My first one was $99.99.
Yeah, I think it's still the same one. It has not yellowed yet. I'm surprised.
Oh, mine did.
Well, then it's extra special. I don't know. I feel bad suggesting that now. I can't get rid of your OG.
Oh,
yeah. It's the only reason why I keep mine. Mine is completely yellowed on the top and the sides, but in like the corners and the bottom, it's not, because I kept it in a box. And the corner that was up against the box, like the bottom and the sides, is completely the white clear color, and then the top and the other sides are all yellowed because apparently heat also oxidizes them.
Yeah, it's really
if they're
weird.
in a warm spot, they'll yellow.
Yeah, for the longest time I thought it was just like the NES and Super Nintendo that did that, but I guess now everything else is getting to the age where people started noticing the NES and Super Nintendo doing that.
Yep. I had no idea that the Dreamcast was capable, and then I pulled it out of the box. I was like, "The hell?
Like, who pissed on this?"
Sega had a good thing going with having the black consoles up until the Dreamcast. They should have just kept going.
Yeah. Right?
I don't have any golden Genesis or anything, so that's good.
I should look for the black one. That would probably be really cool.
Yeah, but don't get rid of that one now. I feel
no. I'll just throw it in the closet.
There we go. That's
everything else gathering dust in there.
That's what collectors we just add to. We never get rid of.
Well, I had to pull my Turbo Duo out of the closet. That thing was covered in a layer of dust. I have not played that thing in probably 2 years.
You had to shave it. Yeah.
I wonder if it even works because they're notoriously bad for their caps blowing up and leaking all over the place.
That was the thing when I bought this one on eBay. The guy had just replaced them.
Oh, good.
So and he said he replaced the rubber band or whatever for the disc drive.
Oh,
Also.
little
It just got the upgrade. Well,
Yeah, that was why I bought it, because he said he did all that stuff.
cool.
Did you feel like Alan Grant though? Did you have to like take the like brush and like archaeologists like dig out all the buttons and stuff?
Better than being
Microfiber.
Ian Malcolm and being like, that's a huge pile of shit.
But then you get to sit around with that opened button-up shirt.
Yeah.
And be famous for just that. So I played it on Dreamcast. You played it on Turbo Grafx.
Yep, on Turbos on a PC CD. Yep.
Woot! It is hard as balls.
Yeah. It'll kick your ass. If you're not familiar with like the difficulty of retro games like Mega Man or Ninja Gaiden, those kind of games, it'll kick your ass.
Yeah, but just like those games, it's got a pattern in most of the levels that you can kind of memorize and get a little bit farther each time.
Yeah, it's fair. It's just hard.
Yeah.
I know Jason knows about my struggles last night.
Yeah.
I was next to him.
He's like,
I'm like, bitch, I'm getting ready to throw this controller at the wall.
This Mega Man level is just pissing me off.
He's like, I'm like, dude.
Game right there.
Yeah. I mean, it fits right in because you originally developed it for the PC Engine CD, and it fits in with the difficulty of those games because I know from recently digging into the Turbo Grafx 16 Mini, playing a bunch of those games. I'm like, this game is awesome, but holy hell is it hard!
A lot of Turbo games were hard.
Yeah, I love the homages in all the levels though. Like the first one was Adventure Island, and the second one was I got a list of what
Magical Drop Magical Chase.
Yeah,
Cotton Magical Chase.
Magic Chase, and then Castlevania.
Yep, Castlevania.
And Bonk.
Mm-hmm.
And Lords of Thunder.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then Mega Man, and I couldn't place the last one.
Mega Man, Shockman. The last one is an original stage.
Okay. I was going to say, because it kind of reminds
I was going to say,
the closest thing I could compare it to was like the kind of like the futuristic surfing thing from Turtles in Time. That was like the closest I got. But,
I was going to say level 6 reminded me, well, at least the name that you gave it reminded me of that one TurboGrafx game that's like with the giant robots that has like 3 names, and I hear it's like supposed to be god awful, but I've never played it.
I don't think there's any Japanese games with giant robots. I have no idea.
No, it was an American one. It came out over here. It had like 3 names or something like that. That's what I thought you were going for, but
Tactical Gladiator.
Yes.
Oh,
that's what I thought you were making fun of. That's the name I thought you were making fun of, but I was like the level itself reminded me of like Mega Man or something.
And the company, the building at the end was that kind of a tribute to Hudson Soft.
It's like,
is it called Honeybee?
Yep, like
Honeybee.
Yeah. I was just like,
yep, that's a Hudson reference for sure. But the last stage, the stage itself is just it's supposed to be an original stage, not based on any games, because it doesn't take place in a game world.
Okay, I figured that's probably what.
All the other stages take place in game worlds.
Okay.
So it's running on an actual highway heading towards a building.
Yeah, going to confront the big
guy. Because the guy is like, screw this game nonsense. We're just going to blow up some real shit. So that's
I like the approach.
In the real world.
I think
the stage itself, it's supposed to look like there's a game called Download where there's like a highway. It's a shooter, but we took the idea of the highway, the moving highway from that. That was my vision for that stage, was from Download 2.
Okay, that's really cool. Like I was saying to Chris, like, he was like, "Oh, this Mega Man level's kicking my ass," and I'm like, he's probably feeling the same motivation as the guy at the end. They're just, yeah, this game shit. I'm just gonna blow something up. But I was like, if you get past it, I'm like, oddly enough, I think the last level might be the easiest. You just got the pattern on the highway was probably, I think I like the shoot 'em up levels were probably my favorite because I'm a big shmup fan, so it was.
Well, like the platforming levels are like, they reminded me of like Valis, at least the gameplay wise.
Okay.
But yeah, the shooter 'em up levels are probably my favorite of the game.
I really love the Castlevania stuff, and the boss was very, very fitting for it. I thought it was pretty cool. So, when did you when did you start coming up with the idea, and like kind of what got the ball rolling there? Like,
So
what made you go, hey, I'm gonna make a game?
It's weird because initially the idea wasn't to make a game. It was just I wanted to make a comic book that kind of paid tribute to PC Engine, Turbo Grafx, that whole world. So in 2016, in 2015, I started coming up with all sorts of concepts. I couldn't make it work really how I wanted to do it. I originally had started off with like 3 different girls based on each NEC console.
Okay.
And then I was like, I don't know how I'm going to make that work. And I couldn't make it work to be relatable, you know? So I was like, you know what, maybe I'm just going to pick, just do it where it's just one girl. She's a real girl, not some like fictional girl. And this real girl is like a superhero who happens to just transform into a PC Engine type of device, you know? And so in 2016, I finally got like all my ideas together and I put together the webcomic. Originally, when I started the webcomic, it was called Henshin Engine and nothing else. But we later ran into some legal troubles trying to use that name because somebody registered the word Henshin, even though it's just a Japanese word for the word transform. In America, it means nothing. So you can technically trademark it because it's not something in our vocabulary.
It's probably Gene Simmons. He likes to just copyright shit that he doesn't even use.
Yep. And
well, George Lucas copyrighted Droid.
Yeah. People can copyright most words if they're not like actual words in a dictionary. And even sometimes that slips by. Yeah. Like Edge Magazine. Do y'all remember that whole debacle with somebody trademarking the word edge? Somehow that got past the
wrestler.
That normally doesn't happen, but in our case, because the word is technically made up to us in America, they were allowed to do that. So we went ahead and just named it after the main character itself, and people liked that more anyway.
Yeah, I think it's more fitting.
And you added in like the subtitle.
The name Henshin Engine was confusing for people because they thought we were developing a game engine. You know, we were like, oh, what is this Henshin Engine about? So how long does it take for me to make a game on this engine? I'm like, we're not making a game engine, we're making a game. It's just called that. So
well, I guess it helped. It was a blessing in disguise, and it helped to free up some confusion, and you put it in the subtitle of the game anyway, so that's cool.
Yeah,
works out.
So silver lining is that people ended up liking FX Unit Yuki better than Henshin Engine anyway. And it was a lot less confusing, like you said. But in 2016, I decided I wanted to put together an Instagram webcomic of this story that I was coming up with. And it was just going to be like, I was going to upload 2 or 3 pages every week. And it was going to be like completely square because it was Instagram.
Yeah.
And I made maybe like 15 or 16 pages before I got the attention of a programmer who was in the same PC Engine community as I was. And so he messaged me because he saw in one of the pages at the end of the chapter, I had drawn a sprite of Yuki, right? Just like a mock-up sprite. It wasn't, it was the normal size of an actual game sprite, but it wasn't really used for anything. So he was like, do you happen to have more of these frames of animation of this character? And I was like, yeah. And I ended up just making a whole bunch more and just like sending them his way, just in my head what I thought, you know, running and jumping and attacking. And he put together this really quick demo, like super impressive. It was a crude demo, right? But the fact that he put it together in like a day was super impressive because he basically animated Yuki. We put in a track that somebody had made for me to use for a YouTube intro, and I never used it. But we ended up putting it into the game as like a test track, and we took that to MGC. MGC 2016, I believe, is when we took it.
Is that the one I met you at?
I think you met me the year after.
Okay.
That's when you had the demo. I think you had the demo, right?
Yeah, did you meet me when we had those demos? You
passed me a demo.
Printed demos in a thing that. Okay, so that was the year after. What does that say on it? Does it say MGC? Okay, yeah, that was the year after. So the year before I met you, we showed it off at the Turbo Room.
Okay.
at MGC, and everyone pretty much collectively lost their shit over it. And they're like, "Oh, it's cool. You guys should totally make this into a game." And like people were hype over it. And so we were like, I went back home and I was like, "Well, shit, I guess we're gonna make a game." And so we started putting together like the idea. We made a demo, and we put the demo up online. It was like 2 stages, and then we decided, we were gonna do the Kickstarter, and so we made an even more refined demo with an extra stage on it. That was the shooting stage. We added the shooting stage to the demo, and we did it with how the final product was going to more or less look as far as like colors. It wasn't crude like our first demo was. This one was the demo with all of the parallax and pretty much everything that you saw in the final game. There were more improvements when we finally did release it, but the demo is what we used for Kickstarter. That demo was really what I think what helped us a lot with our Kickstarter. So we finally launched the Kickstarter, and it was successful. And in 2017, we released the actual game.
Okay, so it took about 2 years from concept to.
Yep, it took almost exactly 2 years.
That's pretty amazing. Speaking of that original track that you just kind of put in as in the little like sizzle reel thing, did it end up making it into the game, the overall game, or?
Yeah. You mean in the Kickstarter video?
Oh, the one you meant when you just did the first little demo for you.
Oh no, that was not, because we ended up, because we had Kickstarter monies, we ended up hiring a composer to do the music, and he did an amazing job.
He knocked that out of the park.
He did amazingly. He was a composer named Simon Johansson from Sweden. He goes by the name of Garbled Waves, and he was amazing. We had actually met online years ago. Not really met, but I messaged him. I was like, I'm a big fan of your music, because I did character art for a game called Osu Click and Rhythm. It was like an online music game that thousands still play online today. Back in 2008, I created the original concept of the character that they use now.
Oh, cool. That sounds like your wheelhouse, Chris.
Yeah.
Rhythm games.
Yeah.
He did music tracks for this game, and that's how I found him. And I messaged him, and I was like, I love your music, and I want to work with you someday. I don't know when, I don't know how, but someday I want to hire you to do music for me. And he was like, oh, okay, that's fine. Haha. And so like later on, I messaged him when we started the project, and he's like, you might not remember me, but I was really into your music, and I want to hire you to do some stuff. And he was like, oh, very cool. I don't know if he even knew who I was, but it didn't really matter.
It's one of those like, oh yeah, I remember. But he
was like, oh, okay. And so he agreed, and we paid him his monies. He did excellent music, and
like it was definitely there was definitely full of passion. You could tell, like it wasn't just a paycheck. It was a lot went into it. Like the whole,
he really enjoyed doing it too, because
that's what you
all the tracks were really fitting.
Oh
yeah, I was gonna say they bring back like they evoke images of the games that they're emulating.
Yeah.
And during some of the more frustrating parts, it's really what kept me going. Is just like it's starting to get frustrated, but then also I'm just like into the music, so I'm like, all right, keep going.
Yeah, it gets you in the zone. Like you did a good job of that. It really gets you in the zone. So we definitely want to hopefully use him when we do the sequel.
Oh,
we definitely want to get him on board.
Cool. Is that
we just want to get the same team
to do back together?
Is that a secret?
Exclusive. No.
Is that in the works, or is that just in the planning stages? Is it kind of have you started going on it, or are you just kind of mulling ideas?
Right now, we're in the conceptual stages. Like I'm doing a lot of the concept art for it, and coming up with the stage ideas right now.
Okay, well, if you need any ideas for bosses, there's this guy here.
No one moves the blob.
But yeah, we're working on some ideas right now, stage ideas. Right now, I'm only working on concept stuff right now. None of the other team is doing anything because I don't have anything solid for them to work off of yet. I want to kind of get all of the stage concepts completed before I start sending stuff out to people about my feelings of how I want these stages to, because that's pretty much the process how it was, is conveying my feelings for every stage, how I want every stage for everybody, right? Like,
Yeah. Did you kind of draw out like all the stages in the first one?
so I did in the first one. I did all the character pixels. I did none of the background animations except for the Adventure Island stage.
Okay.
And then the first stage was done by somebody else who isn't part of the team, but he didn't want to be named. He actually works for a game company, and he didn't want. And it's like a big game company, so he didn't want any trouble with them.
Yeah,
So
'cause it's
the
probably
first stage goes uncredited.
Okay.
And then all the other stages after the Adventure Island stage, like the cave part on, was done by somebody named Black Tiger. He did all of the pixel backgrounds for the rest of the game.
Excellent.
So there were 4 of us officially on the game. There were 4 of us. There was me. I'm the creator, obviously, and the pixel artist of all the main characters, the cinematic scenes, and then we had Black Tiger. He was our background pixel artist, as well as character pixels for the God of Lightning stage. He wanted to do those, so I was like, go ahead. He really likes like Lord of the Thunder and stuff. So
Who doesn't?
Kicks your ass, but you love it the whole time. I'm like, this is the best soundtrack.
Yeah, that stage was, the music is very fitting, and then like Simon, of course, he did the music, and he's not really like a PC Engine Turbo guy or gamer. He's like, he knows of games and he does a lot of game related music, but he's not exactly like a huge gamer. He appreciates them.
Okay,
so
so
a
he
lot
did
of
his homework and so he knew what he was going for. He just did his homework and knew what he was going for. So
Yep, and along with, we communicated a lot, which I think helps too, is to communicate with the creator, as far as like, and I would be like, if you can kind of like he would send me something and I'd be like, I like this, if we can do it sounding like a little like this, and I would give him examples of like different games of like how I wanted like a certain part to have a similar feel, and he was very good at like conveying the feeling with making it an original composition. So that there alone, that's got to be like crazy talent.
So would you send him like a for like say the Castlevania stage? Would you send him like a Castlevania song and be like along the lines of this? But
no, he came up with that one completely on his own.
Okay.
All he knew is that it was a Castlevania type stage, and he saw like the concepts, and he came up with that.
That's
and
awesome.
It has a very, very Castlevania feel to it.
Super Castlevania feel.
Without being, plagiarism, obviously.
Yeah.
Without actually sounding like any track. Like you listen to it and you're like, wow, that does sound like Castlevania, but it's nothing like I've heard before because it's an original track.
Yeah, it was like as original as like Bloodstained would be, but you're like, oh, this is obviously paying homage to Castlevania, but it's not Castlevania. So.
Yeah, but you have that feel.
Yeah, it was awesome. That's what I really appreciated about like a lot of the stuff. It was just like a perfect emulation without being an actual rip-off of it. So, yeah, that's what I liked a lot. So did anything kind of get lost along the way? Like, did you have anything planned that you kind of ended up scrapping?
Oh yeah, lots. And that's actually what I was going to get into next, is the programmer, right? David Rover. David Rover, he programmed our game and did an amazing job with it. He's had experience. He did make a game before. He made a game called Mysterious Song on the Turbo Grafx CD. It was an RPG game, but this was his first game where he worked from start to finish. That was an action game. Before that, he only did like little demos that he played with. But he did an amazing job with the engine. Like the game plays really well for PC Engine game, and the guy's just talented. He did a really good job with programming the game. And one of the things that he kept mentioning is feature creep, right? Where we had all these different features, and the game, we wanted to release the game in a year, which was kind of unrealistic, to be honest, to try to push it out.
Good. I mean, it's good for lighting a fire under your ass, but yeah, it's pretty unrealistic.
Yeah, and I think that was more or less the idea of giving us like a ridiculous deadline, is that we rushed it, and it still took us 2 years to do it, you know, like doing every day. We worked on this game pretty much every day. But feature creep, as he stated, is like we would add things. Like later on, it's like we needed to add more features. Before it was just going to be Yuki was just going to slash and throw fireballs, and that was going to be the whole dynamic. It's like, no, we need more. We added a slide, we added the double jump, you know, there's a swimming stage, there's a running stage, and next thing you know, he's programming all kinds of different little engine facets that are outside of the original scope of the game.
Yeah, I like that because that kind of felt like almost like a Mega Man progression too, where like after each level you get a kind of a new ability. Like if you fall in the water in the Adventure Island stage, too bad.
Yeah.
Fall in the water in the next stage, you're fine because you can swim now.
Yep, and that's what there's a support character. His name is Nobuyuki, and he pops in and he's like, "Guess what, girl? You can swim now." And she's like, "Oh, cool." You know?
Those are cracking me up. Hey, girl.
Yeah, he's a bit of an eccentric kind of outward personality type, very flamboyant. You know.
Yeah, I really liked that you felt like you were in different games because it changed the rules for each game. Like you were stuck to the rules of that world.
Yep.
And that's what I really appreciated that. Like that's what I thought was cool about the progression. And you know, because at first you've just got the like basically the fireball that's like a mega blaster charge up like that, and then you got like kind of the hack and slash kind of reminded me of Strider a bit.
Yeah.
Especially the arc of the swing.
Yeah, so that's actually, we were going for two different things with the feel of that, right? One was Valis, like Pico mentioned earlier, that whole like Valis feel with the slash, but the actual like slash graphic is very Strider inspired. So it's kind of, Yuki is kind of like a mix between Valis and Strider as far as the actual character in game goes.
Excellent, that's cool. And
I'm sorry, back to what you stated. Or your question, you asked what was cut. We actually did have game ideas that were cut that work out because we're actually going to be able to use those now in the second game when we originally didn't have ideas for making a second game. We were just going to make the game. But the way that the game ends is a little open-ended. So that kind of gave us leeway to actually go in to make a sequel. Not to spoil anything for anybody, you know, but it does leave room for a sequel, and so we're going to use these ideas in part 2. Like we want to do a Bomberman stage where it'll actually be like overhead, you know, or like grid, you know, where Yuki will actually, you know, blow stuff up to get to a certain point, you know, like kind of like not like a square, but like in Bomberman you have like the world, you know, one of those worlds, and then there'll be like a boss stage in that same type of fashion. And then we have to have obviously like action platformer stages. So we're going to have like a stage that's kind of like an East 3 stage, which is going to be like a sideways
Wanderers of East. Oh yeah.
Yeah, like Wanderers of East. And then a Legendary Axe stage.
I was going to ask.
Yeah, Legendary Axe is
please tell me there'll be a Ninja Spirit one.
Yeah.
No, but
not the
maybe. We'll see.
Jump down that with it.
I haven't actually, there's still like 4 stage concepts I still have not thought of yet.
JJ and Jeff, yo, I'm throwing my hat in the ring. JJ and Jeff.
Probably a bigger chance of getting a Ninja Spirit stage.
Damn. I had to say it.
Yeah, I really like that game, but I think actually we were talking about the last episode, wasn't it? That I'd just beat Ninja Spirit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, love the game. It's easy. Then all of a sudden the end where you jump down the pit and it's just ninjas flying upwards with their swords out. And you get once and you're dead. And I was like, and then you get to the bottom and it's the easiest end boss you've ever fought in a game.
You just got to get to them.
You got to get to past all these dumb ninjas. And
yeah, our game is kind of the opposite, where the last stage is super easy, but then you get to the final boss, and the final boss kicks your ass.
Yeah, well, like we ran into like a little bit of a glitch on the Dreamcast version where I was just like,
oh yeah, on easy. I actually haven't confirmed if that's actually a problem with that, and we haven't. No one's reported it because I guess nobody plays on easy. Most people just start the game.
I'm just a friggin'
play it
because I was just gonna kind of.
Jason's a scrub.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure. I wanted to at least make, because I didn't know how much time I was gonna have this week. I was like, I'm gonna get through it, then I'm gonna challenge it on the harder modes, and also know like I would get to it, and around the same phase at the end boss, I'd be like so it's basically what you're fighting against the whole game anyway. There'll be a glitch in the system that you're trying to get rid of. So it's basically like an unintentional version of play it on a harder mode, get the real ending. So
that's funny that you say that, because the actual game itself is laid out like that. If you play it on easy, you get the bad ending.
okay.
If you play it on normal, you get the regular ending. If you play it on hard, you unlock the secret character. So it's different things depending on what version. And then insane is just for sadists. We don't give you anything for that because I don't think anyone can actually beat that mode. It's almost impossible. It's just there to
You give them bragging rights.
how far you can get. It's kind of a challenge mode. How far can you get on these like ridiculous rules with insane? But yeah, easy, normal, hard, all. Easy is a different ending. It's like your bad ending. Normal is your good ending, and then hard is the same ending, but you get a secret character, and there's also a secret stage too.
In the Castlevania stage,
I saw that.
To break the candles in the right order.
In the right order, yeah. And then Yuki, when she transforms, she's got a bikini on instead, and that's because when you beat it in that mode, you see a special image where that scrolls up with her in a bikini.
The hotness.
It's kind of like PC Engine did that a lot through.
You did say you knew how to draw the girlies, and you were right.
Yep. Well, I enjoy drawing the girlies. So it's like kind of like the PC Engine fan service aspect of it. PC Engine did a lot of that, where they would throw in like fan servicey stuff, or if you put in the wrong system card, it'd be like kind of risque picture. So we kind of wanted to do that. Put Yuki in a sexy bikini picture, and if you find the secret stage, you see the actual picture, and it scrolls up at the end.
That's pretty cool.
Delicious.
Delicious.
It was pretty cool. I saw. I didn't figure it out on my own. I saw it when I was looking up stuff after I beat it, so I went back and checked it out, and it was a cool.
Yeah, we made a contest out of it where we had 2 prizes, and then one person found it. It took like a month for the second one to be found. So
yeah, it was pretty.
They found it.
I checked out the other character too, and it was like a totally different game after that.
Yeah, it's a different game mechanic. She has her own story as well, and she has her own dialogue as well. Her story is pretty much like she gets caught in the program. She's from like way in the future, and I guess I should mention the character Valia. Valia is Chris Tang's character. He is making a game called Strike Blazinger, and Valia is the main character of this game. It's like a futuristic space harrier meets PSO atmosphere hybrid. Okay. And she's the character in that game. And because we have a relationship with them, we decided to put her in FX Unit Yuki. And so he wrote her story and wrote her dialogue. And it was really cool. And she's got her own ending as well. So if you beat her with her, she has her own ending. And it's funny because her story is that she gets caught in the program of FX Unit Yuki. So everyone is still interacting with her like if she's Yuki, because it's like a record of the actual game, and she's responding to them in her own responses.
Okay, I noticed a little bit of different what little I got to play of her, but it was really cool. I remembered Chris Tang was on one of your streams at, was it Too Many Games? Or what you had Reggie?
Game On,
yeah.
Yep, Game On in Arizona.
We were talking about it then. Yeah, I was interested. It sounded like it's going to be a really cool game.
Great con, by the way. If you guys ever make your way to miserable Arizona, because the weather there is like miserable, but the convention is awesome.
It's dry heat though. I can do dry heat.
Not so
last year. I was loving that.
Dry heat here where I live. Arizona is
overly.
Sometimes they get a little wet, and even just the slightest humidity has you swamp ass all day.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Ain't nothing worse than the swamp ass.
Especially for us big guys, right?
Yeah, no shit, man.
It's hard.
It's like, hey, on, guys, I'll continue game hunting with you. I got to go wipe real quick. Bye-bye.
Let me grab my towel.
Carry those man wipes with us. Yeah.
So where I live, it's I think I like 5 days a year.
thing.
I should go get my package of what was it, dude wipes I found at the Target the other day.
Yeah. I have those. I think they're called man wipes. The ones I got. It's just funny.
See magic trick?
Big people problems.
Well, where I live in, Canada, I have like maybe 6 days a year, 5 days a year, because it's ridiculous winter for like 8 months, it seems like. And then when it's finally summer, it's nothing but humidity and maybe a couple nice days all summer. Today was one of those days where it was a little breezy to keep the humidity down, but yeah.
Yeah, see, I have no problems with the heat. I'm a dude wipes. Yeah, mine say man wipes. I just got like some knockoff brand.
I bought them just because.
I bet you they're from the same company, and it says in the commercial, "Are you a dude?"
It's regional. It's regional.
It could be.
And one that says bro.
It's like Hardee's or Carl's Jr.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, could be. I don't know what that means in Canada. Bud would be, hey, Bud wipes. Because everyone just calls each other
made out of hemp.
Hey there, Bud. Go for a rip there, Bud.
But yeah, I'm used to the heat, right? Like I live in Las Vegas. It's hot here, but we don't get any humidity here, like at all. It's super rare. But Arizona sometimes gets just a little bit of humidity, but a little bit of humidity in 110, 120 degree weather.
Yeah.
Really wreaks havoc.
Miserable.
Yeah.
I've never been. I've had a couple opportunities to go for like family weddings and stuff, but I was like, I hate going to weddings, and I don't think I was old enough to do anything fun, so I was just like, I'm gonna stay home. But
Game On are awesome though. If you ever get the opportunity to go to Arizona around the time that Game On is happening, hit it up. You'd like it.
I've been wanting to hit a con on the West Coast. Maybe we'll have to take these enabler bros. We'll have to enable each other a plane ticket and hit a con in the West. Do a road show.
Good luck with that.
Big aspirations on episode 8, talking about taking the show on the road.
Road trip.
Yeah, well, we love our cons, and I don't know.
It's a good one though. They have like panels and stuff, and we usually do our Saturday show from the hotel room.
Excellent.
There. So
yeah, because we were talking about when you were doing your Saturday show at MGC this year. I was like, oh, cool. You're like, yeah, stop by and we'll do something by then.
Do our show from MGC as well, but that didn't happen.
Oh, that's a big bummer.
Yeah. Ruin my fun. Ruin all of our fun.
Makes me sad because I've been to every MGC since 2015. Yeah, 2015.
Yeah, 2015 I think was the first year I went.
Yep, every MGC, and ever since 2015. And I just went 2015 on a whim because like a bunch of like Turbo people went, and I was kind of like a recluse at the time, and like I only talked to like 2 or 3 people that I knew, and
yeah, you're pretty quiet when I first
from the place. But I really enjoyed it, and so like I just started making more friends as I went along, and MGC became a regular con to go for me, even though I'm way over here on the West Coast,
I'm glad you made it, and yeah, glad we got to meet. So
yeah,
cool. Like, yeah, you said you were kind of recluse, so you were pretty quiet when I met you the first time, because I only met you briefly at 2018. I think was the first year that it was at the big venue.
Yeah, I think that was more or less because I was running around.
Yeah.
So I stopped to talk to you guys briefly. That was, I think, the second time I met Pico.
Yeah.
I think
After our panel.
Yeah, because I was with
your guys' panel.
Pico.
Well, the first time I met you was the first panel that we did, where I mentioned that I was collecting for the Turbo Grafx during the panel, and you came up and you're like, "Hey, I got this demo for you since you like it that much." And I was like, "Well, guess what? I'm a Kickstarter for the game." So
that would have been my first year, but we already had a Florida trip booked with the family, so we ended up doing that. It was kind of a nightmare of a trip, and I wish
you should have gone to the con.
Yeah. I was like, well, I don't think my wife would be too mad at like
detour
at 7 months pregnant if I just like got on a plane and went to a quick game.
Come up with the baby later.
Yep.
Don't have a baby. Just wait like 2 more months, and
yeah, it might not have gone over so well.
I probably wouldn't have been welcomed back, and they probably would have just stayed.
It's a great con though. I love it. You bet your ass as soon as that con comes back,
Yeah,
I will be there.
I'm all over that. I'm hoping. I haven't heard any word of GalaxyCon in Minneapolis being canceled this year, but I really hope somehow it happens. It's in November, and on my birthday, I was planning to meet Frank Welker and Peter Cullen, so I could meet Optimus Prime and Megatron on my birthday. Would be the greatest thing.
What's it called?
GalaxyCon.
Oh, okay.
It's like one of those, kind of like Wizard
Okay.
World or whatever, where they go around. Last year was the first year in Minneapolis. I'm like, hey, that's great for me. That's only like a 5.5 hour drive. But whereas like Milwaukee's like a 5.5 hour drive for me, and then I ride with church, whatever it is, the other 6 hours.
Yeah, almost 6 hours.
So yeah, at least it breaks it up, and I don't have to drive the whole way. But yeah,
That's good.
it was a riot last year. I met a lot of cool people from all different types of stuff I like.
Yeah, that dinner we had was pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, I want more of that.
Yeah.
Except that poutine. The poutine. Every time we bring up that place,
Don't eat poutine in the States. Why can't you learn this?
why would I have it?
We don't got the cheese curds here, man.
But you do Italian food, all right. You do Mexican food sometimes, all right. It's kind of bastardized, but you got
Stop eating at Taco Bell.
But yeah, I can't do this. Just poutine. It's just fries with mozzarella cheese and gravy.
And apparently, it's pretty easy to fuck up because.
Well, what was the one? What was on the one that you got? Was it just that?
It was like breaded curds of cheese that were just like crispy. I'm like, no, it's gonna be melted. How hard is it? Just to make fries melt. You can just grate the mozzarella on it. It doesn't need to be little balls of it, like. And then you just put the gravy on, and it melts. And then
I just remember looking over at you while you're eating it. You just had this grimace, and I was just like,
and you just heard sad Canadian noises.
It's like, you should have gotten the discs of Tron quesadilla.
Yeah, we got whatever other crap. We tried a bunch of things just because they were named after cool stuff.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it was good food, but fuck that poutine.
Kick punch, it's all in the burger.
It's out of didn't they go out of business now too? Before
Yeah,
COVID?
they went out of business.
Oh man!
And you know why? Because I bet you they're Canadian. They probably had a big Canadian clientele at first, and then they were like, Canadians travel from miles around to go there, and then they're like, "What is that?" No.
Hey, Wisconsin people know their cheeses.
Just poutine did them in, huh?
All you gotta do is know how to melt it on the fries, man. Well, it's not science, even.
Weren't they all like in a big clump too?
Yeah, it looked like they looked like what's that stuff? Like ginger roots. It's like they deep fried the cheese and then they put it on there. Then they put the gravy on it. That's what I mean. They were crispier than the fries.
That's weird. That sounds
like just putting your spin on things, and then there's like, you just fuck it all up.
Yeah, that sounds gross.
I was like, I'll wash my hands. Can I just go back there and make it right?
You take a picture of it?
I think so. I think I did.
Picture of sad Jason in the background.
It's a black and white filter on it, grainy photo. Just
and it has the game over thing from Grand Theft Auto on it. It's a dad or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, and pictures of the Great Depression. If you look up the Great Depression on Wikipedia, it's just mixed in there with all the actual photos of the Great Depression.
Now the question
Jason's Great Depression.
Did you read all of it?
Yeah, I paid for it.
Of course he did.
But I'm like,
Jason got to eat.
I was hungry, and we've been traveling all day, and I don't think I even had any burgers that day. So,
well, yeah. Did we have breakfast that morning? I think we did.
Oh, that was the day. Wasn't that the night we got there? Oh no, I probably did.
We went to Burgers that Friday, but then Saturday morning we went to the same place again and got breakfast.
Yeah. And
then we went to the restaurant at night because I didn't have anything for lunch that day either.
I think all I had was like a sub at the con, so
yeah.
I was pretty famished, and I was gonna wait for more food to come out. So it was either that, eat my own damn food, or like distract someone else and eat their food that looked better. Like I said, we got a variety of things, so I had other stuff to eat, and then just throw a little bit of on the floor. Like, oh, dude, you just knocked that over. Mouth all in my beard, and why don't you splashed me too, you jerk? You should pay for this crappy thing for messing me up like that. So anyway, reeling it back in here. Are there any other like kind of features you're trying to put in FX Unit Yuki 2, or
Yes, actually, one of the main features
abilities?
of FX Unit Yuki 2 is the ability to switch between characters.
Ooh, Castlevania 3 style?
So you get to switch to another character who it might be obvious, it might not. I'm not going to say which character it is, but you're able to switch between her and this other character. And the other character, she has different abilities than Yuki. So she's not going to be able to double jump, but she'll be able to hit things because she'll have, let's just say she has a long range weapon. And so she'll be able to hit things from afar. She'll be able to Super Castlevania her way around stuff.
Ooh, like a whippish thing. Or
Yeah.
a
So-
flail of some sort. Cool.
You'll be able to hit select to switch between the characters depending on your situation. So these two girls are always going places. They're always together in this game, except for there's going to be parts where you'll be separated and you'll be able to pick which girl will go on in the stage. So you have to pick wisely depending on how you play or how the game stage is going to play.
Okay, I was gonna say, is it like a puzzle thing, kind of like a Lost Vikings type thing, where like you'll go so far with one character and you'll have to switch to be able to open
similar.
the door?
Not as much as like so much puzzles, but more or less just being able to reach certain things. You won't be able to with Yuki, so you'll have to switch to this other character unless you have to like jump on a platform that's higher than the other character can reach. Then you have to switch back to Yuki
Okay.
to double jump on whatever platform. But there will be areas where you will be met with the choice. You know, you won't be able to go because of whatever the stage requirement is. And you'll be met with the choice of going through it with Yuki or going through it with the second character. And so then you have to complete that stage until you get to the end of the stage with that character. So that's going to happen a couple times in the game. So you won't be able to switch to the other character because you've already made your choice to go through the rest of that stage with that character.
Oh, okay, so it'd be kind of like a Maximum Carnage thing where you pick your character at the beginning of the stage almost, and then you got to keep going with that character. Because I think on that game, if you chose one, you didn't get a choice again for a couple of levels.
Is it? I don't know. I haven't played it. So
Excellent game, but
is
Carnage
it?
is an asshole.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out. I've
It's
heard
one of
all.
the best beat 'em ups ever, but Carnage is like the cheapest beat 'em up boss you've ever played. It was never an arcade game, but you'd swear that Carnage was made as a boss just to munch quarters. So it's not that hard of a game, but you basically just save up your lives for when you fight Carnage.
Very cool. So it won't be quite like that. You'll still be able, like, you play the game normally, you get to a point in the stage where this person's like, there's only room for one of you, and so you'll have to pick either Yuki or the other character to go forward in that stage.
Excellent. I look forward to checking it out.
Yay.
Yeah. So, do you have any other like potential ideas you got like on the back burner for after this, or are you putting all of it into one project at a time, or are you guys kind of?
So FX Unit Yuki 2 isn't coming immediately. The next project that I have in mind, I have yet to announce, but it's going to be a Bubble Bobble clone. So it'll be like a Snow Brothers type of game, if you're familiar with that.
Yes, I am.
If you like
the
Bubble
PCB
Bobble.
about 6 feet.
Paying brothers.
Yeah, like kind of like more akin to like Bubble Bobble or Snow Brothers.
Okay.
Where you have like platforms and power-ups and 2-player co-op.
Kind of like maybe even a little bit like Liquid Kids.
Yeah, kind of like Liquid Kids. Or Home, whatever the one with little garden gnomes was with the hammers. I don't remember the name of that one, but it's another similar style, that kind of like game.
That's really kind of weird because I literally have like only 2 arcade PCBs that are like in my garage, and it happens to be those two games, Snow
Which
Bros,
one?
Snow Bros, and Liquid Kids.
Oh my gosh, really?
I had the whole cabinets, but
You have the Snow Bros cabinet?
I had the Snow Bros cabinet, but
Dude, that's
I had to store it in
awesome.
between.
I love Snow Bros, by the way.
I had to strip it though because
No.
moving.
Okay.
I stored them at my buddy's house, and he neglected to tell me that it was a pretty humid garage. So kind of the cabs weren't like 100% anyway, but they were not usable. It was like I pulled any identifying things. I got all like the marquees, I got the sticks and anything usable. But I was like, yeah, I'd have to build another actual
cabinet to put it in.
Yeah. So
do you think the PCB is okay?
Oh, the PCB was fine because when you plugged it in, it played it just the screens needed to be recapped on both of them.
That's the important thing. Everything else is.
Yeah, so they're excellent. I'd like to do something with them. I love to do something with them, actually. I've got one of those Pandora box plug and play arcade sticks with like
okay.
And it's excellent. It's got both those games on it, but I'm like, I'd still like to get those going because why have them if you're not going to use them? But yeah,
and having the original, I don't know, there's just some satisfaction for me.
And knowing they were local, like I remember them being like places when I was younger, and a friend of mine said, "Hey, if you help me move these," because he got them out of a storage locker. Some guy didn't pay his thing. It was kind of like Storage Wars, but but he just said, "Hey, if you just come get them, like $100, you can have them all." And there was some gems in there. There was, some crap you'd expect, like some Buck Hunters and some Golden Tea machines. But then there was Snow Bros, there was Liquid Kids, there was Die Hard Arcade with that solid plastic thing.
I like that one too. The beat 'em up one. It's like a beat 'em up.
Yeah, the one that's on Saturn, I think. Too.
I like that one.
Yeah, it was cool. He wouldn't give me that one, but he said you had your choice of a couple of the other ones if you help me move these, because it was kind of like a move them today before it rains. They're outside already kind of thing. So
that's so awesome.
Yeah, so I was just so stoked to get these restored, and then they'd been in places that probably in like pool halls and stuff, so they weren't like 100%. But I was happy to have them either way. I was just like, I can restore these. It'll be a project.
That's so cool. Well, then if you like that kind of game, you'll like our next game then.
It was excellent. I ended up adding to the room. I've got the Street Fighter 2 machine that I used to play when I was a kid at the local bowling alley.
Nice.
I used to work at Walmart, and I worked with her husband. Just happened to be the manager of the bowling alley, and it was the only arcade machine left there. It had been there like pretty much since it came out, and every other machine they just slowly gotten rid of. They used to like swap them out like everywhere else used to. But I just heard her on the phone one day, and she's just sitting next to me at like the lunch break, and she's like, "Okay, yeah, I'll put it on Facebook right now. What was it? Street Fighter 2? Okay, what do you want for it? 150? Okay." She's like, "I'll put it up right now." And I was like, whoa. I'm right here. I love video games.
Yeah.
It's a small town. Everyone knows I love video games. Everyone knows.
And it was a whole cab for 150?
The whole cab. It's I think it's a converted cab. I think it used to be a Miss Pac-Man or something because it's all yellow. But
that's awesome.
It's the original. It's the one I used to play the shit out of when I used to be in bowling. So I was so stoked on that. So
awesome. That's cool, man.
I'm pretty lucky with like a couple of free ones and stuff too. But it's something that I've only, since I've been working on the garage, been able to actually accommodate them. So now it doesn't feel like just a big mess.
Very cool.
Yeah, I want to start the arcade and have everyone up. I want it to look like basically the Foot Clan hideout from the Girls movie. Skateboard ramps, because I can hear myself in the garage good enough. I don't need skateboard ramps to do that shit.
Sam Rockwell's got to be there to introduce everybody.
Excellent. So anyway, back on after another tangent, I guess I'll shut up a little bit. But another thing you mentioned is that you're an ambassador for Polymega, which is due to come out in, is it October or November? November. Right on. So you've been able to test the beta unit, and I played a little bit of it at E3 last year, but I don't think they had full functionality of it yet. So
no, it was I don't know what stage it was at E3. The version I got, they were already rolling out beta 2 units for it. I don't have one. I have the original. I was one of the 6 original people to get one.
Yeah, playing the shit out of it. You've been putting that thing through the ringer.
Oh yeah, we played well over 350 hours on it already.
Excellent.
So we've played it quite a bit, and as far as the streaming box goes, it's pretty damn awesome because like you don't need to hook up anything. You just HDMI cable, bam, and it just goes into my AverMedia to stream, and that's it. Nothing to really set up. It's a retro streamer's dream come true, really.
Absolutely.
Did you get any of the extra modules for it, or are you just using the disc drive one, the core one?
Yeah, I have the Sega module and I have the Super Nintendo module, both of them that are pre-production modules. I believe I'm the only one who has the SNES module.
Ooh.
It was a hand put together by hand because they didn't manufacture them. So there was only a few of them.
Prototype almost.
Yeah, I have the prototype SNES one and the Sega module, but I believe Modern Vintage Gaming also got the Sega module, but he actually got a Sega controller with it. I didn't get any controllers with it. I got just the plain Polymega controller.
Okay.
But I did get a module, so I'd rather have the module than a controller to test.
Absolutely, yeah.
How many different modules are coming out for it eventually?
4. So it's going to be a Sega module, which is the Sega Genesis 32X module, the Super Nintendo Super Famicom module, the Nintendo module, which right now is only going to do NES. It's not going to do Famicom, so only US NES, which is kind of a bummer. Yeah, right? It's like, what the hell's going on? I think their idea is that they want to make their own Famicom adapter for it.
I was going to say, could you use an adapter for it? Would that work, maybe?
There's different amount of pins,
like their database or something. So I think they're trying to make their own adapter so that they can sell it, because I guess they would make money off of that.
Another mini module. Because, doesn't the NES and the Famicom have a different amount of pins? So they probably
have a different amount of pins. So they might even just make a whole other module for it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think they should. I think they should make an adapter for it. And
have 2 slots on the one.
Huh?
Or have 2 slots on the one.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think they've already made them. So I think the only option is to make some sort of adapter with it. I would prefer they just make it compatible with one of the other many adapters that are available, and then just putting the Famicom games in their database so that it recognizes them. But I guess on a business standpoint, they want to do it to. I don't know if they're going to do it, but I think that's what they hinted at, is that they want to do their own.
Yeah, that's kind of a missed opportunity if they don't.
But I really hope they don't. I really hope they just support the ability to do it. But I guess like the only other people, the thing is the availability of being able to get an adapter. So I think that's why they would make one, because not like off the top of my head, I can't think of anyone that actually makes an adapter that you can buy now, right? Other than cheap,
I've got one, but I don't even know if it works because
knockoff ones, right? There aren't any people like Retrobit or anyone that's actually making an adapter. So I guess it would make sense for them to make their own. As long as they don't charge a lot for it. If you charge me $20 for it, sure.
Yeah, it'd be better than some dodgy one that you don't even know. Like
right, yeah. So I think maybe that's what they're on to.
Yeah.
With that one, making their own adapter. I just hope they don't make their own module. It's like, come on, you can probably make your own adapter and have it work just fine. If they made their own module for it, I would probably be pissed. But I don't think that's the route they're going. I hope that's not the route they're going, because that kind of would seem kind of money grabby.
Yeah, just to say, oh, okay, EA. And they'd be like, all right. We'll just make a little cheap adapter to go in there.
Yeah. 20, 30 max, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Or something like that. And I would be okay with that. But
that wouldn't be too
as long as they don't make a new module for Famicom,
so
I'd be okay.
What was the last module that they were doing?
Turbo Grafx one.
Okay, so it's going to play Turbo, PC Engine, and Super?
Yep, it's going to have the slot right in the front, so you'll be able to pop in your Super Graphics games, which is cool, because I have a Super Graphics game and no Super Graphics. So it'll be cool to be able to pop in my Super Graphics game finally and play it.
That is pretty cool. So testing like the beta unit, is there certain problems you found with it, or is it just?
Yeah, there were a number of problems actually that were found, and that was actually part of the whole like beta.
Yeah, that's the whole point of it, right? Yeah.
A lot of games had issues. There was a lot of compatibility issues. Polymega, the first week that I did it, I did something called a Polymega Mega Stream.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the most views and the most viewers I had ever gotten on any live. And I don't think I'll get those numbers again unless I do something else that's like big that nobody else has.
Well, like everyone's just real curious about that thing. That's why.
Yep.
I mean, yeah.
So like that first day,
people are like, I want to know if it's worth it before I drop that cash.
yeah. So everyone else, that was the idea. And so our first stream of it, we got like 200 and something people in our live, which in perspective, my normal lives only get anywhere between 40 and 50 people, right? That's like my norm. Back then, my norm was more like 40. Now it's like between 40 and 50 for my lives, like my Saturday show. Yeah. But we got like 200 plus people, and I was like, what's going on? Where'd all these people come from? They were all really curious about Polymega. And that whole week, we got really good numbers. But after that first week, it just went.
Yeah, I used to be a really regular in the streams, but then I've been having to work longer on Saturday, so I haven't been able to actually watch. And I was like, I can't really look down at my phone that's playing on the Bluetooth because I'm driving.
Yeah.
So I pop in. Sometimes I pop in while I'm like waiting for orders and stuff, and kind of lurk a bit. But yeah, trying to be more active in them again because like I said, I always enjoyed your streams. Like, it doesn't really even matter what the topic is.
That's awesome. I appreciate you popping in.
You could probably
I come in when I can.
Game stream and I still watch it, honestly. Like, and I hate sports games, so that's saying something. If I'd probably even watch you play sports games.
Yeah, our streams are also pretty late for you guys because you guys are what Central Time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So our stream started around 11:30 your time.
Yeah.
Which is pretty late. I know for Jason that might not be that big a deal, right? Because you stay up pretty late usually.
Yeah, I'm a night owl, and I work like some. The Saturday streams used to almost start at the perfect time. It'd be like right when I'd be getting home, because I don't close on Saturdays, so I'd be like, cool. I'd be able to. I gotta go. It's starting soon, and for the last couple of months, it's just been like keeping me later because the COVID's actually made everything busier.
Yeah.
Huge pain in my ass.
Ain't nobody got time to make their own pizzas, man.
Decent for the wallet, but it's also like I need to sleep at some point because I have another job. It's not just pizzas. Sometimes I'm like, can I go? I got to be up at 5, and it's like 12:30, and we close at 1. I can let the other guy make some money. So yeah,
you gotta give him some sleep.
Yeah, you gotta get some of that. Yeah, and then also kids. So it's not even guaranteed if I go to bed I'm sleeping. Well, that's the funs of parenthood. So are you expecting to get a beta 2 unit, or is it?
I think so. I think eventually. I think right now what's going on is they're probably trying to get shit sorted out with the other beta people, I'm guessing. I don't know, but all I know is I haven't gotten one yet.
Okay.
I do know one Japanese guy who was a beta 1 tester did get his beta 2 unit, so I'm hoping that they do the same thing with me at some point, but I'm not sure.
Is it updatable? Like, can you hook it up to the internet?
This unit is not, but the new ones are. So if they send me the beta 2 unit, I can pretty much keep that as the final unit because it'll be updatable via firmware.
Okay. So if you're throwing out the beta 1, you could just I'll give you my address.
I know, right?
I definitely want.
Yeah,
but the
some process where they have to send you
the original, the base. What consoles does it cover?
CD consoles covers Turbo Grafx, PC Engine, CD, all of them.
Okay.
Super Sega CD, Mega CD, PlayStation, and Sega Saturn.
Okay.
All the disc-based consoles. And that's actually really the highlight of the console is the fact that it handles disc-based consoles, period.
Because
consoles do it, none.
Especially the Sega ones, the older ones, like the Sega CD and the
so that's why I wanted to bring it up.
Oh, and Neo Geo CD. I don't know how I forgot that. That's the reason I bought it.
Oh, Neo Geo CD?
Neo Geo CD. Yes, Neo Geo.
That's why I wanted to bring it up because I have a Retro Freak and I use that to play all my cartridge based things, but nothing to do the CD stuff. So I was wondering if are you recommending it, the base unit?
Yeah, if you don't have any of the CD consoles, you want to start getting into CD gaming, I definitely recommend it. I bought mine at $299, which is a really sweet price. At $399, it is a harder sell. In my opinion.
That was like an early adopters kind of thing. I remember when it
Yeah,
was
the early adopters got it for $299, and I pre-ordered mine way back when. So at $399, it's a bit of a harder sell, but you also have to consider what it costs to get all these systems up and running too.
Yeah.
Like cost of what do you call it, like SCART to upscaler, blah blah blah, all that stuff. Capacitors, lens replacements. Just one console with all of the modifications to keep it running and connecting to your TV via HDMI can run you just as much as the whole console. So it really just depends on what your use is for it. If you need something convenient like that, like I'm the kind of person who doesn't like to fuck around with cables or any of that.
No.
Like I buy something, just hook it up, and I just work. So if you're one of those people that don't like to fiddle with any of that shit, then it's worth it. It's worth your time.
My thing is like space saving, like the fact that I don't have to have 10 different consoles hooked up. I can just have the one, which is why I like my Retro Freak, because it does a lot. It does most of everything.
Yeah,
100% the space thing.
Yeah.
They're fine for just playing, but if you're trying to record anything or stream,
that's also
It's just the bane of my existence. Is anytime I try to make a video or anything, it seems like a wrench in the gear every step of the way. Like something's telling me not to do this, because it really feels like something's telling me not to do that, not to make this video.
And that's a bunch of time, that you're gonna waste trying to like hook all kinds of shit up, and multiple consoles. You have to unhook that console, rehook the other console, and this kind of like takes away those excuses. So it's like, I guess I have to make a game video now. It's a matter of playing it and recording it.
The other thing I wanted to ask is, it obviously runs the physical media, but could you also do like ROMs on it and all that?
It doesn't out of the box, but I mean, I'm sure someone's gonna figure that shit out, right? Like someone's gonna be able to like.
It's probably like illegal
on it somehow. I actually had a couple workarounds with that, because it plays most CD-based media. I have one of those PlayStation. It was made for PS1, where like you put an emulator on a disc, right, and you burn it, and you burn all the ROMs to it, and that worked. That worked on the Polymega. So there's always that workaround until somebody figures out how to like properly dump ROMs onto the console via SD card or something. Like someone's going to figure it out. It's a Linux-based console. Someone is going to figure it out at some point.
When it was like 3 days later, and it's
yeah, probably.
Yeah, it was like before the NES Classic came out. Someone had already figured out how to do all that shit.
Yeah,
that's one of my video. Actually, is I was like, I think I had the third video on YouTube of how to hack the NES Classic. At that point, it was like the first stage where I'm like, I can get 171 games on this thing or something like that. And then like 2 weeks later, it was like 600 games. So I was just like, oh, well, I'm not changing the video now. I'm just gonna.
Yeah, that's cool though. Yeah. So, but there's also the option to it'll play your backups. Like they don't condone it. Obviously, they don't ever want to talk about it. But that's like one of the first things I did on the first day is pop in like a Hong Kong boot, and it read it. It read it, and I was able to rip it to the system and everything. So,
I'm seriously considering getting it.
Yeah, if you have like a binder with a bunch of burned CDs, I know like that's like taboo subject, but come on, like I was a poor kid growing up. I had tons of.
Well, I'm not exactly poor, but I'm cheap. So when I know what keeps me from paying ridiculous price for cards,
that's true too. Yeah, like
I know I can pay
$100 for Little Ralph or whatever, or Sapphire, right? Like, I mean, I did, but I mean, most people don't want to spend that kind of money.
Like if the games you really want, no problem. But
yeah,
I'm one of those like I really want it, but I don't $200 want that.
Yeah, there's a lot of those games, right? You're like, man,
I'm like that too until I'm at a convention.
Yeah, I'm a master haggler too, though. At the conventions, I'll wear them down. I'll be like, oh, I could buy more if I could, get a little bit off.
Well, you remember what I did last year.
Yeah,
I'm not buying anything over $200. Oh, look, Rondo of Blood.
Walk around the corner.
Yeah, Yep.
It's like $50 cheaper.
I'm not buying that signed copy of Duke Nukem 3D for the Saturn. Chris, you need it. Okay, I'll buy it.
You just bought a signed one last year and got him to sign it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay, I'll buy it. No, didn't the guy be like, "Oh, I'll knock $20 off it"? Okay, sold.
yeah, that was the guy that was giving you good deals the year before too, and he remembered it. He's like, "Hey, Chris,
Yeah.
you want that? You really want that?"
You sure you want? Yeah, really? Okay, I'll give you $20 off.
Yeah, I'll give you like 40% off that. And I was just like, I know Chris too.
And obviously, you're gonna buy the games that you want, right? That are like really expensive because you're passionate about whatever game. But then there's like some games that you're like, oh, I want to play this game really badly, and then you're like, why the hell is this worth $250? You know?
Oh yeah, like my roulette game from the last episode.
What was that?
Jackie Chan Stuntmaster.
Is that over $200?
No. But it was like it was like I think I paid like $55 for it.
Oh, okay. And they used to be
But
like another game or something.
You'll have to revisit the last episode.
Like, why?
I almost cracked a tooth.
Well, we
Right
replaced the word stunt with a derogatory term that rhymes with it for stunt actor. That's how he felt about it. But
Yeah. I've officially given up on it, by the way.
that's all right. Well, it's to enable us to try these games. We don't have to beat them.
Oh, I tried
There's
and
no-
tried and tried and tried.
There's no slap on the wrist if you don't beat the games. There's
If that game had a dick, I'd punch it.
suck that. Yeah. Fun stuff.
No, not really.
Speaking of games you can interact with going like this, why don't we talk about some PSVR?
Oh yeah. So yeah, it's my turn to do the VR pick of the episode.
I am waiting with bated breath.
I think you know what it is. This is the
There's
newest
Saru on
VR
it.
game.
Yeah.
I want to say it's like the newest VR game to come out, or at least major release one.
I think I know
But-
what it is.
Iron Man VR.
Woo!
Cool.
Yeah, the demo. I was kind of worried
I don't even-
about this when it was first announced. I was like, how's that going to work? But that demo that they released kind of blew me away. And even though it was like nothing going on in the demo, it was like fly through some rings,
You're like,
Superman
"Oh,
64 style,
Yeah,
and then save Pepper Potts in the airplane. Okay.
yeah, I played the demo too. I don't often even bother with demos, but I was like, I know this game isn't coming out.
I was just
for 4
curious.
months, and I was like, gotta check it out. Well, I even played the Spider-Man free experience.
That was trash.
Both. I mean, well, that was one of the first things I got because it was free. Both those
Yeah.
were free, and they were tie-in for the movie. But
That was poop.
it was like one of my first experiences, and I thought, hey, this is better than nothing. This is like the first time I even used the Move controllers. I think was Homecoming, the Homecoming one where you're just shooting the targets with the webs. And
Yeah.
I was like, all right, that's pretty cool. The second one was pretty trash, but
Yeah, the Far From Home one was garbage.
spoiler for my pickups and some of my mail that came in is I finally got my copy.
There you go.
Mwah! I'm so happy to have it.
So yeah, I'm highly recommending this one. I will talk about it later on when we're talking about the games we're playing.
Yeah.
But yes, this is a right now. So
Right on. Well,
Moving
I'd
on.
say good pick. I haven't got to try mine yet. I've been kind of setting up for the podcast, getting everything dialed in for this. So I intended to start it on Friday. Didn't get around to it yet, but it is the next game I'm playing. So good pick.
yeah,
Since I already showed one of my pickups, should we get into pickups?
sure.
All right. Well, we'll go with our guest first. Saru, what's some cool stuff you picked up lately?
I got. I guess I can start off with a movie.
Cool.
I got the Goofy movie on
Oh.
Woo!
and I loved this movie. I was probably around the same age as the protagonist character At the time, Max was like 15 or 16 at the time. I was around that age when this movie came out. And I felt like this was like the last like Disney movie that I could feel like a child and watch and not feel like super guilty
The one that
about
you
it.
identified with.
You know?
You're like, oh, I'm watching a Disney movie. You're like,
Yeah,
oh,
because like
movie.
I was already 16 growing up, I was already doing stuff much more adult at this time. And so I was really happy to get this. This is actually the one Disney movie that I have been looking for a long time. I wish I paid that price for it, but I paid a lot more for it.
Oh wow.
Well, like we said, we pay a lot more for things that mean more to us, right?
Yeah, and this one doesn't go for cheap when
Oh, I bet not.
you see it on.
Is it widescreen? Yeah, it's letterbox. Yeah.
Yep, it's letterbox. The original movie. It only came out in its original letterbox format. It's like the actual theatrical letterbox, so it's like
Oh, wow.
a super wide format. But I love this movie.
I don't know how I missed out. I didn't even know you collect Laserdisc. I don't know how.
Oh yeah, I just had a Laserdisc episode not that long ago on my
Sweet.
Saturday show.
Yeah, we had a Laserdisc player at my house.
Oh,
My dad loved it.
I must have just forgot because I think I do remember that now. That
Yeah, I'm big into. I love Laserdisc. I'm big into Laserdisc.
I wish I knew you about 5 years ago. I could have given you my dad's collection.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he had the
Yeah,
big
I love
box set of all the unaltered Star Wars movies.
Oh, see, those are the ones that I want.
My mom sold it to half price books.
Oh no! So she got like $13 for the whole thing. or something, huh?
For the whole stack of, I think there was maybe like 250 Laserdiscs that she might have, maybe more. I think I want to say she got maybe $30.
Oh my god!
$30.
Yeah, maybe $30 for the whole stack.
Good goddamn, man.
Yeah.
You could have at least put them in that closet with that dusty ass PC CD.
A bunch of them did have like the disc rot. I remember like the
I thought you were a big
Day.
movie buff.
Me?
He upgrades.
Oh yeah, I am, but like I just like the high def stuff now.
Yeah, he upgrades.
Yeah, I upgrade.
Man,
He's
like
the last retro gamer.
art real estate. That's one of the cool things about Laserdisc is how much like real estate they have.
But
for
I also have to have like the space consideration. That's my thing.
I also almost bought the Terminator 2 laser. I didn't even know Laserdiscs existed when I was younger, and
Yeah.
I saw the Terminator 2 one, and I thought it was like the soundtrack on vinyl. I was like, can we get this? And he's like, no. I was like, what? You love, because my dad's a huge Terminator fan too. He's probably why I am so into Schwarzenegger movies. But
It's the oldest media.
we don't have that. And I was like, can I still get it? Because I just wanted it to put on my wall. It's
The
probably
oldest media I have is this.
yes.
Was it Tron VHS? Oh man, I had a number of those Disney clamshells too.
Yeah.
I'm looking at a mountain of them right now because I'm in my garage, and garage movies. I got all my whole VHS collection out here. But then I went and moved the CRT because I found a deal on a 4K. So I'm like, oh, I'm just kind of eliminating the charm of garage movies. But yeah, there's still about 6 CRTs out here, so I can still appreciate them.
Yeah, I was gonna say, have fun watching those VHS tapes on a 4K.
No, I wasn't planning to. But I got a different setup where I'm gonna put that kind of stuff because I still got all my horror movies, and yeah, I kind of don't even want to upgrade a bunch of those. I'm like, they have just the charm on the VHS, the little when it starts up, and then as long as the movie's not destroyed, it's
Yep, and have to sit there and fiddle with tracking for like 13 minutes before you actually get comfortable and watch it.
I actually got pretty lucky with mine after not using it for so long. I watched one of Chris's movie streams, and he's talking about the Return of the Living Dead movies, and I was like, I got the first 3 on VHS, and I never bought them again. And then my wife and I, like the next night, watched all 3 of them on VHS, and we're like,
That's how you do it.
it's going with the cheesy B movies in the 80s. It just works with VHS. I mean, I'm sure Laserdisc and they also do the trick too, but I don't know. There's something.
Well, I mean, Laserdiscs are still analog, so you still kind of get that like the analog feel of the audio and the visuals, versus DVD. So
a little bit of tinny sounding. Oh, my favorite part about the VHS is just finding the stuff I taped off TV and stuff like that. Like
all the stuff we taped off of cable.
Oh man, like just
our copy of Kroll, which omitted the opening credit sequence because my dad set the VCR too late.
I have
accidentally recording over some Skinemax.
Oh God.
I actually found a a video. Well, it was labeled, and I was like, "Oh my god! I thought I gave this back to my friend because he gave me his VHS." It was me and him, or him and I. Sorry, pulling down his old treehouse in like probably 2001 when we were like teenagers, and it's like this far from like landing on my shin because I slipped because it's like barely spring, so there's still snow, and we're pulling on it. It's falling over, and I'm just like. Just fell lands on my leg, and then I just let it play after I watched it because I recorded it and I was trying to send it to Messenger. I ended up uploading it to YouTube as an unlisted video and sending it to him because it wouldn't let me send it through Messenger. And then I let it play, and I found hours and hours of the show called Loud, which is basically like MTV's Headbangers Ball. It was like the late at night metal show that was like an hour once a week instead of all the crap I didn't want to listen to that was the rest of the week. So it was pretty funny because it was from like 2002, and they were all talking about, oh, the new album from this band, and you're like, that's like their second album. They have like 12 albums now. Wow. So it was there's that kind of stuff. I think that's what I really like is like, exactly like when you and we have some that my grandpa asked my wife, hey, did you like this movie and stuff one time randomly when we were over at his house, and he went through some movies, and it was like because she was talking about Disney's, and there was like the Sound of Music and stuff, and we fast forwarded through the movies and watched the commercials because it was like from like a week before I was born. Some of them, I was like, wow. So it was just like the greatest unselected 80s commercials of just all across the board. I was like, wow, this is amazing.
That's cool. Did you upload those?
No, I didn't. I probably should. I'd have to figure it out. But yeah, we there was probably like 3 or 4 tapes of it, and we were just like, oh my god, is there more? And yeah, it was like we just did this marathon of watching commercials. It was like things you don't appreciate when they're happening.
Yeah, at the time. That's cool though.
Yeah, it was extra cool. Anyway, so let's see any other pickups.
Yeah, I got a game pickup. We were talking earlier about Bubble Bobble clones. I bought one for the Neo Geo CD called Bang Busters.
Is that a newer game or an older one?
It's an old one that never got released by Visco, and so basically what this group did is they finished it up because apparently there wasn't a whole lot that needed to be done to get it finished. So they finished it up and they pressed it onto a CD and put it on a Neo Geo CD and Dreamcast. The Dreamcast cover though has a much better art than this one does. This one looks like, I don't know.
She looks like a troll mixed with Rainbow Bright with
yeah, kind of.
A little bit of strawberry shortcake.
Yeah, a little bit of Astro Boy boots on there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's just not really good art.
Is it a sequel to Bang Bus, or is it just a?
Wow.
The Bang Bus Neo Geo style. Now
so if it came out for the Dreamcast too, I might have to pick that up because I've been buying all those like new Dreamcast games that have been released. I buy as many of those as I can.
Yeah, I want to get the Dreamcast one just for the better artwork because the cover is way better on the Dreamcast one than this one. But this is all my Neo Geo CD stuff right here.
Oh god!
So I'm trying to buy everything I can.
Oh, yeah, just that, hey.
For Neo Geo.
Yeah.
Well,
hey, nothing.
I know. I think they released 97 games. I have 89.
God damn.
97 games.
That's pretty awesome.
The last few left are super expensive. That's why I don't have a complete set.
I have a couple of Neo Geo CD games that got turned into Dreamcast games from a guy that did repros. I have the Double Dragon Neo Geo CD game.
Oh, nice.
And was it Cyberlip?
Yeah, Cyberlip. That's like a running gun.
Yeah, it's kind of like a sci-fi version of Metal Slug.
On Dreamcast?
Yeah, some guy took like the Neo Geo CD games and put them on Dreamcast discs.
That's cool.
Okay, I think I've seen
and I have that Legend of Zelda game for the Dreamcast.
Was it like the same guy that Metal Jesus talks about in that one?
No, it's that guy that you keep on asking me about, but he doesn't do the Dreamcast repros anymore.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, that guy.
The guy whose arm we got a twist.
Yeah, Toy Saurus on Instagram. He goes by Toy Saurus Games, but he does Genesis repros now mainly.
Wow,
I'm gonna have to check this guy out.
Yeah, he does some good stuff.
That's excellent. Cool. What else? Do you
Yeah,
got?
it's like a Bubble Bobble clone, basically.
Cool. I need
I love
more.
Bubble
I need
Bobble.
more
I love it.
Bubble Bobble type games.
Yeah, Bubble Bobble, Snow Bros, that kind of thing. I love those kind of games.
Yeah,
I like-
that's just the kind of stuff I play when I come home from work, just to like play something relaxing.
yeah.
Yeah, we all got those games where we kind of just like throw it on. We're not even trying to beat it. Just play it for a bit.
Yeah,
Yep.
like with me, it's like lately it's been Tetris Effect.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
wind down games. You know, you come home, you want to wind down.
Yeah.
You don't want to think too hard.
Yeah, don't play anything stressful.
Well,
Yeah.
I do that with like beat 'em ups sometimes. Like
That's just taking out your frustrations.
Yeah.
I got a lot
It
of
works.
space, bro.
Yeah.
I got a lot of it.
I love beat 'em ups, by the way.
I
Beat your meat or beat them up. There you go.
Beat up.
beat meetups. Yeah.
I like beat 'em ups.
Yeah, that's like one of my favorite genres too. Like when I got that Pandora stick I mentioned, I just went on a torrent of destroying beat 'em ups last year, and I tried to give it a little bit of a break this year.
I'm trying to make a beat 'em up, actually.
Ooh.
Well,
But it's a matter of finding a programmer. That's why I haven't really announced anything. But I have like all the concepts for it. I've got a name. I've worked on this idea for like over 10 years for this beat 'em up. So the game is laid out. I just need a programmer for it. Game is
once again, if
laid
you
out.
boss,
I just need to find someone who can program for it, and then I need to just start cranking on the in-game art for it and getting it to a programmer.
that's cool. Do you have a name for it, or
Yeah, it's going to be called Sci-Faction. It's basically a group of 4 anthropomorphic scions who have different psionic powers, and it's going to be like a beat 'em up, like a Streets of Rage style type of beat 'em up, more gritty looking, 2D. And I was hoping for it to be on the Dreamcast and up because of the type. Because I want to do hand drawn sprites. Like I want to do all the hand drawn animations and convert those hand drawn animations into sprites. So I'd have to go with something like the Dreamcast or newer.
something that can emulate like their actual art style rather than just
Right, so that my art style comes through the way I want it to come through.
Sweet.
That's possible on the Dreamcast, and it also makes it easier if I do it on the Dreamcast to port it to stuff like PSN and Switch
Yeah, do.
than it is to.
Hell yeah.
That's kind of why FX Unit Yuki is probably going to be the last game we make for something on the 16-bit platform. Only because of its lack of versatility to be able to port it to other stuff easily. That's why we don't have a Switch version or a PSN version of FX Unit Yuki, because it's not easy.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, can I ask if you had any plans for putting them on like?
Yeah, it has to be built for that, you know?
Yeah, it's a total rework basically.
Yeah,
The whole
so
game.
it's harder. So the programmer is working on the PC version of the game, which should be coming out in the next month or so. And that version we can take and port it to PSN and Switch. But the current versions we have now makes it harder. And I don't want to do our Dreamcast version because the PC version adds a bunch of stuff that isn't in the Dreamcast version.
Okay, so what would you say is the difference between the versions that are out now?
So the Dreamcast version, all that does is add a couple extras like better color palette for the cinematics. The cutscenes are in their actual full color as opposed to the PC Engine. It's in a very limited color palette. And the Dreamcast version also has things like filters. There's a couple filters, like there's a screen, what do you call that? Scanlines filter and a smoothing filter, which I don't like. It just looks like you threw.
Yeah, it looks like watercolors or something.
Yeah, it makes it look all gross. And other than that, that's it. Those are really the only differences.
Does it add the level codes too?
No, the level codes. Yes, I'm sorry. The level codes is something that is only on the Dreamcast version. So it does. It adds the level codes. It adds the filters, and it adds the better color palette for the visuals.
Okay.
Those are the extras on the Dreamcast one.
'Cause
But game is the same.
Because I remember last night when Chris was getting frustrated with the Mega Man-ish level, I was like, "Can you give me the level code to skip and try the next level?"
No level codes.
And he's just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
And then he goes, "How do you do that?" And I was like, I don't know, under options, he's like,
PC Engine version is like hardcore.
Yeah.
There's
I'm
no
like, all I got here is like a music select, like a
well, it's
little
true to
sampler.
its console, then it's true to its console, like we said. Okay, yeah, I actually meant to ask you that question earlier when we were on the topic, but yeah.
The whole thing about the PC Engine version though is that you can take the PC Engine version and pop it in your CD player, and you got the soundtrack. You can't do that with the Dreamcast.
Red Book Audio.
Yep, you get that Red Book audio, so you can pop it in your car CD player and listen to it.
Sweet.
Yep. So that's an advantage.
I wish I had missed out on that soundtrack because
Yeah, we outsourced the Dreamcast version. We didn't personally work on that one, so that's why the whole like, whenever we find bugs with it, it's like we can't even fix them if we wanted to, because we outsourced that through Josh Prod, the guy who makes a lot of those new Dreamcast games that Pico buy in. They ended up being the people to port it for us because we didn't have the know-how to do so. Which is what I want to change with this next game that we're making. I want to get someone who is familiar with the Dreamcast working for us as opposed to porting it.
Well, if you need anyone for playtesters, holler at your boys here.
Yeah,
love to.
For sure.
If I can ever get my Dreamcast off the VGA mode.
Yeah, for sure. We'll definitely want
Just
playtesters.
Yeah, I'm definitely down, especially the Bubble Bobble or the Beat 'em Up. I'm down for both. Those are both my alley.
That'd be awesome. Actually, if you guys are interested in testing the PC version of FX Yuki, that's going to be a thing soon too. So
yeah, we'll be checking that out.
If you guys are interested in that,
absolutely, sounds fun.
Something to talk about because it is different than the other versions. It adds a bunch of stuff that like there's a part in the Lords of Thunder stage that was supposed to speed up and slow down.
Okay.
That we couldn't get into the game in time. That's going to be added. So there's some parts of the game where like you're flying really fast through the stage. Because if you notice, the stage is like super long. It's not supposed to feel that long.
Yeah, because it doesn't feel quite as fast as Lords of Thunder, but it feels like, the action feels like it.
Right.
I noticed it felt like a slowed down version of it. But
we couldn't get in. We just couldn't get those timed speed ups into the game on time before we had to release it. It was going to take too much time that we just didn't have. Another thing is there were enemies that were cut out of that Mega Man, Shockman stage as well that didn't make it into the original game that are going to be in the original game. A bunch of animations like the cars were supposed to be on fire.
Enough of those guys.
Yeah, I know. There's already like the enemies that are there are already hard, right? Because you imagine
the green dude.
To be honest, I think my least favorite enemy in the whole game was the bees in the first level.
Yeah, everyone hates the bees. Everyone
hates you jump. You got to be jump slashing, or else you fall into your death.
Yep.
The first thing.
Yeah, the knockback is brutal.
It's very true to the time that it's emulating. So
yep,
I got it. Cool. So moving on with the pickups.
That's it.
What else? What do you got, Chris?
I haven't been spending a whole lot of money this month. That's why there was no stream for pickups.
It's
at the end of
okay.
July.
I've been spending all the money.
But things are going to change in August. Things are going to change a lot. The only things I've gotten in the last couple weeks are some stuff that showed up from Limited Run. So I got Serialum 3 on the PS4. It's an RPG, and I have the other two games for the series, or in the series, and I have not played them yet either, but I want to be a completionist, so I ordered it. Yeah.
What kind of game is that? I've never heard of it.
It looks to me like an old school RPG, kind of like the original Phantasy Star.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Cool. Wow. Is it like pixel based too?
Yeah, pixel based and everything. It's all retro. That's what made me want to buy the original one, because I was like, "Oh, like an old retro RPG, gotta have it." Haven't played it. Then the second one came out, I was like, "Oh, gotta get that too." Haven't played it. Gotta get part 3. Haven't played it yet. And then the only other one I got was the Jay and Silent Bob Small Brawl, which actually came on an NES cart.
Woo!
They have like was it 2 or 3 different variations of this? You can get like a red card, a gray card, and a yellow card, and I picked the yellow one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm surprised that they actually released a full-on NES game through limited run.
Yeah, they also had Golf.
Golf that sold out like in 32 seconds.
That's what we talked about it before, but that's what really sucks about those things is some people that want it miss out even if they're there right away, kind of thing.
Yeah, and but this one is like an old school NES brawler, beat 'em up. It says even on the box, it's a style similar to River City Ransom and Double Dragon 2, and it features 2-player co-op.
I messed up. They did a full pre-order on that, and I just didn't feel right ordering anything at that time, so I never ended up doing it. But
No.
I'll live it forever in regret.
But this will not play on my Retro Freak because it is not an official game, so I have to break out my old actual NES to play this.
Toaster,
yeah. And I even love the little slogan it has up here: Snoogans.
Let me see the cover. Show me the cover. Oh, that's so cool.
You got Jay and Silent Bob up here in the corner.
Do you know what they're referencing?
Is that supposed to be Double Dragon 2?
Double Dragon 2, yep.
Yeah. But I'm a huge Kevin Smith fan, so I had to get this. But I didn't even realize this is like a sequel. There's another one called Jay and Silent Bob Chronic Blunt Punch. This is the follow-up to it.
Wow.
Some of my bitch.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't either. So gotta start looking for that. I bet you it's digital only. That's my luck.
Yeah. We'll forever be waiting, just like Scott Pilgrim.
Yep. Get on that limited run, you sons of bitches.
That game so much. So good.
Because I started playing my PS3 again when I was playing the Jackie Chan game. I was using it to play my PS1 games. I was like, I still got that on the hard drive. I played that for a good long while.
Yeah, I've been busting out a couple levels, like that first level, just the music in it.
Yeah,
it's like one of those games for me. I used to just pop it in and play the first level just to hear the music over and over.
Scott Pilgrim?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Anamanaguchi did the music for that.
I was so mad because when I got into collecting the video game soundtracks on vinyl, that ended up, like, I think just after I got into it, they had released the soundtrack for that on vinyl for Record Store Day, and it, like, became super expensive, like, right after I got into collecting for it.
Yeah,
so I was pissed.
Ain't that just the way?
Yeah.
They played it in a comic book shop in LA called the Golden Apple way back when, and they had like an actual NES. They were playing the music in conjunction with the NES because that's like their thing. They do like chiptune based music. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, that soundtrack is amazeballs.
Yeah,
I thought you were saying like they put it on a cart and put it in the NES to play, because I know some band did that with either the Genesis
8-bit weapon.
Is that who it was?
A number of people did it where they used the NES as like part of their sequencer somehow. Like I guess like they had like a MIDI setup with the NES.
Okay, yeah, because there's things that I have the NES Maker, and it's got like a program where you can make the music. Well, it's like you can make a full game in it. I think it uses some kind of extra program for making your music files. But yeah, I really got to get into that. I bought that. So the first thing I ever kickstarted was that.
I did too. I did that whole thing, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna learn how to make my own ship."
But then they were like, "Oh, they're releasing the modules every so often." So I was like, "I'm gonna wait till they're all out." But now it's been out, and I'm like,
That's like me buying all those RPG makers and fighting maker games for the PS1 and all that. I haven't touched them.
Same here. I always say I'm gonna, but then I just don't have the time.
Well, that was what me and Jason were saying. Like, we're each gonna make an RPG game with those games and then send it to each other to play. And no, that hasn't happened.
we're gonna mail each other.
It's really time consuming, man.
Yeah.
Like, you have to actually you don't need programming knowledge, but you still have to dump a bunch of time into it.
Even just putting the wording in, you have to do each letter individually.
Yeah,
there's no keyboard support.
But,
yeah, I mean there is with a NES Maker, but NES Maker still kind of requires you to understand how programming works. You don't have to know how it works, but you still have to understand some of the programming fundamentals and like the limitations of stuff and how to break up sprites properly. And it ends up taking a lot more time than you really think it's going to take, because like the way it's presented, it's like anyone can make a game. You could make one too, and blah blah blah. But then like
you got 15 minutes,
hours, you got to jump into it.
Yeah. Like I really want to get into something to make.
I would love to, but
just to get into it. But I'm like, it's either I'm making a game or I'm playing the games, and I'm like, well, I'm still buying games, so for now I'm going to play games.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess I'll get into my pickups. I actually had this last time and totally forgot to show it off, but I ordered a print from Kevin Eastman, one of the creators of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And it's signed, if you can see on the bottom, he drew a turtle. He's got his, I love this, though. It's called The Last Battle, or Final Showdown. And it's got like a whole shit ton of characters on it. I love it. It was really cheap and reasonable, but if I wanted it shipped to my house, I think it was $25. And he put a little sticky note with the original drawing of the Ninja Turtle when they kind of just made it as a joke, and then it just said Cowabunga Jason on it. And I was like, well, hell yeah.
That's cool.
And, it was $25, I think, and $6 shipped in the States, but if I wanted it shipped to my house, which is right on the border, it was going to cost me, I think, $38 shipping. And I was like, no, ship it. I got lucky and it got dropped off, so happy with that. But I was like, yeah, I'm not paying more than something's worth. And I'm sure once it arrived, I would have had to pay like duty on it too, or something stupid, and be like,
yeah, sometimes.
Well, it's my $80 picture, which is weak. You got some there, Chris?
Yeah, I forgot to show something. You showing that picture kind of reminded me. Anyone familiar with the Renaissance?
The artist?
The streamer.
Period.
Renaissance, yeah, the Renaissance. He streams on Twitch.
I'm a little bit. I've heard you talk about him before.
Yeah, he was on my channel. He did one of the movies that make great video games collabs with me.
Hell yeah.
But he streams. He doesn't really do a whole lot of YouTube stuff anymore. Now he's mostly on Twitch. But he also, other than streaming games, he paints gamescapes of video games, like backgrounds and stuff. Excellent. And he films himself doing it and puts it on Twitch. But the newest painting that he made is based off Super Mario Brothers 2, and I told him I liked it so much he just sent me the print. And it's
cool.
It's like the entrance to Subcon in Mario 2.
Oh, I get it. That's kind of cool.
It's like this Terran time and space type of thing, and I saw him painting this on his stream. I was like, that is the coolest freaking thing I've ever seen. I was like, I need it. You can't really see the details in the camera, but it's really cool. He did one on. I have another one of him of Castlevania. It's like a picture of the castle. He did one of Mega Man, one of Final Fantasy.
All over the
Xanadu. Yeah, he's got a lot of stuff. He's got a Etsy shop. It's the Gamescape artist. He's got a lot of great stuff there. But yeah, he sent me that just because I was complimenting on it so much.
Well, before I get into the games, I got a guy I ordered quite a while ago. And that's the Marauder from Doom. I know I already showed you guys, but I'll show the people watching. This guy's handsome.
That's a sexy beast.
Yeah, I'm tempted to open it or something, but I'm probably not gonna because I haven't opened my Doom Slayer either. But it's gonna look cool when I get my my little display cabinets. I'll be able to. Yeah, I'll be able to put it in with my helmet and all that other shit.
I know we were doing toys. This one is my recent figure.
Ooh,
yeah,
Morgan.
I forgot that I had a stack of toys sitting here too.
Cool.
Yeah, this one was recent. Morgan.
That's really cool. Yeah, Morgan from Darkstalkers.
Darkstalkers, but this one's like an alternate outfit for her. She's wearing
half cheek,
like leather.
Booty, butt cheeks.
I mean, it's hot out. You gotta.
It's hot. Yeah. I know.
Just for the weather.
She does not have the swamp ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot to show off the action figures I got. I bought all the Tron Sideshow collectibles figures. Also.
Cool.
And then the one you can only get at Walgreens is like the blue version of Flynn.
What's Walgreens exclusive? I've always wondered that.
I don't get it. I really don't. But yeah, they made a Sark. They made they call it Infiltrator Flynn, where Flynn turned red for a little bit in the movie.
Okay.
And then a Tron. And then the blue Flynn was the one that you could only get at Walgreens.
Yeah, it's like a drugstore getting an exclusive video game or toy.
Yeah. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Aren't drugstores for like
they get their own? A friend of mine worked for corporate Walgreens, and she was trying to get into the toy department, but she ended up working for a holiday, for like the holiday section. But they would give her all the exclusives that they would get toy wise. They were constantly getting exclusive like Funko Pops.
Yeah, like I don't
Constantly.
I mean, good for them, and I'm not knocking Walgreens, but like,
but you say toys, I don't immediately think Walgreens.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not like, oh, I can go to Walgreens and get that new set of Ghostbuster collectibles or something.
Yeah, don't be surprised. That might not be too far off.
Well,
They're doing exclusive Tron figures from Sideshow Collectibles of all places.
yeah, maybe keep an eye out for the Walgreens exclusive Ghostbusters if they ever get them. Then
Yeah, right.
we got a couple of games. I'm not gonna show all of them, but when I was actually on the Game Deflators podcast a few weeks back, John actually mentioned picking this up for a deal, so I looked on Amazon and it was still on for the deal. I got La Milana 1 and 2.
Cool.
I have one of those for the Vita, I think.
You can get them both in the thick backs.
Oh God!
I enable you to order it.
What what makes it so thick?
2 games,
2 C's,
and a puzzle, and I think it's a 2-disc soundtrack, a 100-piece puzzle. So I can do a puzzle with my wife, and then, or she can do a puzzle while I play the game. Probably more. That's awesome. I'm sure you remember. I know I've showed you most of this stuff anyway, but a couple weeks ago when I started working out here in the garage, I showed you my shelf was just covered in all the spare consoles that I sold a big chunk of them. Like I sold like 9 original Xboxes, 2 Wiis, 4 GameCubes, 2 Slim PS3s. I think something else. But a lot of shit, a lot of controllers, original Xbox controllers, fat PS3, and not all of them were in like perfect working order. So I got a good chunk of change of that, and then I also got some trades. Well, I went right after we did that. Where's all this crap? Where are this crap? Here's all this crap. All right, so I got a couple limited run games. He's actually he has an eBay store and stuff, and he is kind of like one of those limited run partners where you can get the distribution copies or something. So he traded me a couple of those. So I actually finally managed to get a hold of a copy of The Messenger. I've heard amazing things. It looked amazing. I just missed out because I'm a chump, and I always go and ha until it's too late, and then I go, damn it, blame something else. Yeah, and I picked up another one. I was like, I was really on the fence about when it's right in front of me. I was like, yeah, I'll totally do for that. Got Star Wars Bounty Hunter. Excellent game, but I don't like the controls. It doesn't have a invert Y option.
Yeah, I don't get that.
And I think the left and right are like wonky too. Or like it's almost like reversed to that. I don't know. I didn't get it. And I also got Metal Slug 3.
Nice.
Figuring since I got Metal Slug XX coming.
Yeah, you do.
Might as well get that.
I forgot about that one. Wasn't that limited? Damn it.
That was
The Double X.
Yeah.
That was limited. That was limited run.
Yeah, they just did a pre-order for that, or was that? No, that was
That was a 1-day thing.
Yeah, 1-day thing. And randomly, I got a GameCube game too. I don't know much about it. Maybe you guys can help me. I believe it's an anime or maybe just a manga game, but it's Rave Master.
Yep, it's an anime.
I never heard of this anime. Usually, I'm pretty.
Game or?
What's that?
What kind of game is that?
It looks like a 3D fighting game, almost like a Power Stone type.
Cool.
Or maybe like a Dissidia. I'm not sure.
Is that one of those like rare GameCube games, like
I think it's about a $60
Carnivore or Cubivore or whatever it is?
No, I think it's about a $60-$70 game. So it's respectably rare, but not over the moon priced. What else I got in this crate? I'll save some for next time too. Here it is. Probably the best deal I've gotten in a long ass time.
Oh shit! I know what this is.
For my favorite console to get a new game for, which is rare and rarer these days. A friend of mine lives 4 hours away from me, and messaged me. He goes, "Hey, how come the Super Nintendo game is so expensive?" And I saw the price, and I was like, that ain't even expensive for that game, bruh. And he's like, oh, okay. He's like, I'm a little rich for my blood. And I was like, if you pick it up for me, I will send you money right now. And he went, and I made him check too to make sure it was legit, not just like someone trying to cash in on a repro. Got me a legit copy of Demon's Crest.
It's funny. I kind of figured that's. I don't know why. I thought that was the game.
You're like, it's gonna be Demon's Crest. This guy.
Yeah.
Badass.
It's so metal.
So awesome. It was
so metal.
So awesome. So it was listed at 80 Canadian, which is about 60 freedom bucks. And you
mean 60 COVID bucks right now?
What was that, 80 or 70 or something like that? He went and picked it up like right away. Because he messaged me like right when it went up, or like 10 minutes after. And I was like, yeah, I'll send you the money right now if you don't mind getting it. He's like, no, it's only like a 10-minute drive. And then he went and picked it up, and the lady like knocked like 20 or 30 bucks off. I can't remember what it was now, how much it went to.
Hey, Jason, how much did you pay for that game?
Yeah. Like,
$2.15.
Yeah, it was just like, she's like, yeah, I thought I was going to have to be dropping it off. She's like, if you're picking it up, I'll knock like $20 off it. And I was like, and on the conversation we were just talking about, I'm a collector, but I'm a cheap collector, so I like to save money. And that's a game I never thought I'd get unless I just got it in a random Super Nintendo lot. Apparently, the girls sold like about 40 other games of their Super Nintendo for 120.
I hate you.
That's a great deal. So you essentially got it for like 50 bucks, 40, 50 bucks US?
40, no, about 40, 50 bucks Canadian, because you knocked like 20 or 30 bucks off of the. Yeah, so about 50 US. So
that was like last time you getting that CIB Zombies Ate My Neighbors for the Super Nintendo for like $7.
I don't know. Once I get the deal, I don't remember the exact thing, but yeah, I think it was like 50 bucks. But it was a shock. It was a shock to get it for 80 Canadian. I would have been happy with that. Like,
dude, that's awesome.
So yeah, happy to. So now I have to definitely get Gargoyle's Quest 1 on Game Boy, because I have Gargoyle's Quest 2 on NES. So might as well complete that. Well, it's in the Ghouls and Ghosts and Ghosts and Goblins series, so it's basically expected. And then
there's me saying it's hard, and then there's Captain Algebra beating it in one sitting on stream.
Yeah, and then the last thing I'm going to show off is a thing I just went on, figured I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to buy this whole set right now, because they were all decently priced, and that is all 4 Final Fantasy Game Boy games.
Nice.
I'm just like, I don't have any of those, and then I looked and like they're all a decent price. So I got.
And aren't most of them from the Secret of Mana?
Well, this one is Final Fantasy
one,
Adventure.
okay.
That's basically the first Mana game, and then there's Legend 2, and they got really creative with this last one, Legend 3. But yeah, I was happy.
Squaresoft, don't change. Oh, wait a minute.
I check these ones out, and I never see them anywhere, even when I get Game Boy stuff. And
well, you're talking about getting those a couple streams ago too. That you're looking to get them all.
So I ended up, just being bored at work, and I went, you know what, I'm just gonna buy those right now. That's what I do whenever I'm getting frustrated at work. Man, I'll just buy this.
Spend some money. Let's spend some money.
Before I bought the Kevin Eastman print, I was just like, I saw it while I was flipping Facebook, waiting for them to fix my screwed up order and make the other half of it, because they just made half and forgot to make it. And I was like, these guys are killing me. And I was like, hey, Kevin Eastman's selling prints. All right. By that time, the order is ready for 10 minutes, but I'm still paying for it. So then it was my fault. But yeah, it's called a little retail therapy once in a while. So yeah, I mean, I have the collection of Mana for the Switch, but I was like, I think I'd probably rather play that on the OG anyway, or maybe in the Super Game Boy. So good stuff. So we're running a little long here, but we will breeze through these our other, all the time topics. What kind of stuff you've been playing? We'll go with Saru first.
Yeah. Oh well.
I mean,
the Poly Mega maybe.
Highlights. We'll go some highlights.
I've been playing too much probably right now. Fighting games, RPG games, all the stuff, all kind of stuff. What I'm not playing would have been a better question. I'm not playing anything on the Switch, because these are all the games from the roulette thing because I haven't been able to play any new stuff. But
Wow.
yeah, all kinds of stuff. Nothing that I have dived into for any long period of time because right now all my gaming is happening on stream because of this whole Polymega thing.
Yeah, you're just testing everything out, see what works, what doesn't, kind of thing.
Yeah. So I've just been trying to beat like quick stuff on stream, like fighting games or action games. During
the fighting games.
Yeah, so fighting games are pretty easy to beat. Some action games, I beat Mad Stalker last night on stream, and so basically just playing retro stuff right now with the Polymega.
Well, I have one question for you about that Polymega thing, though, when it comes to like playing Saturn games on it, because as I know, this is the one question everyone's going to want to know that's going to make the decision if they're going to buy the Polymega or not. Does it make Bug any better?
No.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Bug is still a shit game.
Damn it.
Yeah.
You almost sold some Polymegas, but
I know.
it makes it amazing. It's actually the best Saturn game now. Excellent.
The only way you can make Bug better is by just forgetting about it.
Playing frisbee with it outside.
And I have both.
Not the best.
Coaster, whatever else you want to repurpose that game as.
Not as a game, it's better used as anything else. Prop up a table leg, anything. All right, well, Chris, what have you been playing?
I'm playing the Iron Man VR. Started playing it today.
Yeah, you did.
I played through both of the stages that are in the demo, but there's stuff in between that you never had in the demo, and it's mostly like the story stuff, like an interactive cutscene, I guess, where you're talking to Pepper or you're talking to Friday and all that. The stages are just slightly different from what was in the demo. The training level where you're flying through the rings and shooting all the targets and whatever, it's a little more streamlined in the game.
Okay.
And the saving Pepper from the crashing plane is just a little bit different too.
I like when they change it up on the demo so you're not bored of something. It's like when you buy an album and you've heard the one song on the radio 1,000 times, so that you always just skip that song.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not like.
But if you remember when you rescue Pepper at the very end, when she like walks down onto the landing gear, and you have to like grab her, she is beat up to shit now in the full version of the game. She's got a black eye and shit. Yeah, she looks horrible. But I mean, the game plays fantastic. There's stuff that you never even got to touch in the demo. There's the whole upgrading your suit. There's multiple suits that you can have. I put missiles into my arms, into my forearms. So when you want to shoot the repulsors, you have to hold your hands up like this, or the controllers up like this. And if you want to use the missiles, you have to like rack them down. And it's pretty fun. It's fun. I like it a lot. It's going places.
I will too. I feel bad because I want to show my kids it, but I know my son's gonna want to try it, and I know he's not gonna be able to do anything with it. So it's not recommended for anyone under 12, and he's 4. So I want to show him how cool it is, but I also don't want to break his heart. So I'll pretend it comes out when he's like 12. Like, oh man, look what just came out. They're still they're putting out PS4 games still.
We're on the PS12. Shit.
I mean, some independent companies been putting these out.
I mean, if you just look at the back of this too, I mean, the pictures of the things that are eventually going to happen are just like the crazy. I can't wait to see where it goes. And the other again, trying to finish Stuntmaster, and I gave up on it because it sucks.
Obviously,
I started playing the Red Star.
Ooh.
Everyone was telling me that this is kind of like a Contra clone, but it kind of isn't. It's based on a comic book, which I've never heard of. It says on the back the Eisner Award nominated Archangel Studios comic from writer-creator Christian Gossett. Never heard of it. And it was considered one of the top 100 trade paperbacks of all time.
They just told you that to sell you the game.
Yes. But it is a little Contra-esque, but it's also part beat 'em up. You have there's 3 characters you could choose from, but you only are able to pick 2 of them at the start. I'm assuming that once you beat the game with one of them, you're going to unlock the 3rd girl. But the guy that I picked is the one who's like the heavy infantry guy, so he's slow, but his attacks are real powerful. There's a girl who's real speedy. But the thing is, when you're fighting the bosses, it turns into a bullet hell shooter.
Wow.
and you're on foot.
Ooh.
So the bosses will come out and they'll start shooting those rings of lasers at you, and you can move around them and all that. It is super fun.
Yeah,
I am absolutely loving it.
Not too long ago, actually.
Yeah, I am loving the hell out of it. The music is fantastic. The graphics are pretty cool. This was kind of a late PS2 game. This came out like in 06, so the PS3 I think was already out at that point.
Okay.
But it is pretty fantastic. It's part shooter and part beat 'em up at the same time.
Yeah, I picked it up not too long ago. I found it at a decent price, and I think Reggie and Metal Jesus were talking about it not too long ago too.
Yeah, I picked this up because I was watching an episode of, at the time it was the Happy Console Gamer, and now he's Stop Skeletons from Fighting, and he was talking about like, fuck those PlayStation 1 Contra games. This is the one you want. And I was like, oh, that sounds kind of cool. And I got it for like $5 off of eBay. But at the time, nobody gave a shit. But now I'm assuming it's kind of more of a pricey game.
It didn't cost me that much. I think I paid around 20 something for it. I was
Yeah.
surprised. I was like, well, I know Reggie and Metal Jesus talked about it, so it's probably like an $80, $90 game now out of nowhere. But
It's
it's actually pretty lucky. It was one of those, luckily not a casualty. So.
yeah, I highly recommend that one. It is a ton of fun. I'm having a blast with it. And it's difficult, but it's not like so difficult you want to give up. It's just kind of like, oh, look, if I did this one thing a little bit differently, I'll probably get through it.
It's one of those ones where you don't get mad at the game. You're like, you get mad.
No, I was not getting Jackie Chan mad at this.
All right, well, that's good then. It didn't turn into the Ninja Star instead of Red Star, so that's
Oh,
good.
God.
So that's all you've been playing lately?
Yeah. Haven't really been playing much. Been watching a lot of stuff, but I haven't been playing a whole lot.
Well, I've had consoles hooked up out in the garage, which is a lot easier than the game room. It seems like I don't have to like select one, pull it out, hook it up. It's kind of just like leave it hooked up. So I beat Yuki out here.
Nice.
In between like cleaning, I just go, all right, I'm a little winded. It's hot as hell out here. Sit down, play a game, and all of a sudden just be like, all right, well, I guess I'm done cleaning for tonight. And again, so since the last episode, I beat Gunstar Heroes, TMNT, the Hyperstone Heist, Mystical Ninja Star and Gomon,
Oh, so good.
Rocket Knight Adventures,
Also good.
House of the Dead 2 on Wii. I've never played the Wii version. It's not really that different. Transformers Cybertron Adventures. It's kind of from like the War for Cybertron. I think it's the War for Cybertron version for the Wii, but it's kind of like an on-rail shooter basically, but you can like, it's one of those ones where it's like it shows you in the third person and it's got the reticule, so you can go in cover and come out, so you can get killed that way if you're not careful. So it's
like that. So it's like that N64 game that we never got over here that everyone talks about.
Yeah.
There was a sequel to it on the Wii.
Yeah, Sin and Punishment.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Sin and Punishment.
Yeah, so it's all like that, and also the only game I could think of besides that was that Men in Black Alien Crisis that came out on Xbox 360.
Oh yeah.
Not fun. But it's easy to get the achievements if that helps it at all. Then I figured I still had the Genesis out, and I pulled out a game I got from our buddy, the Musty Hobbit, MGC last year. Actually, I got it from him at the dinner, and that was Steel Empire.
Yeah.
Which is a side-scrolling shmup.
Steampunky.
Where you're a Zeppelin. And I said it in my tweet when I beat it, but I've never wanted to defeat an enemy less, because the enemy is called the Motorhead Empire or something like that. And I'm like, I love Motorhead. Why would I?
I want to kill the Ace of Spades, man.
I was like, if I get the last boss and it's just Lemmy, I'm gonna turn it off and I'll never beat this game. So it thankfully wasn't Lemmy, but it was a really fun game and a really unique one. Because how many shoot 'em ups do you play as a blimp? If you think about a blimp and shoot 'em up, you're like, so you just explode the whole time? Think of how slow
Hindenburg the game.
Yeah, slow. They can't even maneuver around electrical wires. Imagine crazy projectiles, but it works and it's great. And then this is the first one I think I beat out in the garage, and that is Bang Bang Ball, which is not a variation of like the knife between the finger game, with
I thought you said Gang Bang Ball. I was like,
No, no.
Oh shit!
bang bang ball.
Is that one of those Atari 2600 porn games?
yeah. Gang Bang Ball, huh?
Yeah,
You let me eat them?
garage. It's not a game involving testicles and hammers. It's actually a weird puzzle game on my arcade, the Pandora box thing. And
Yeah.
you're a mouse on a skateboard, but you're like you shoot projectiles of a certain color. It's like a gem matcher, but way different and way more fun. And you've got a life bar, and like all the pieces kind of like float around, and you have to match them up. So you have to be like precise. It's not Tetris or Bejeweled.
What is this for?
It's an arcade game.
Oh.
And yeah, you're a mouse on a skateboard, and you go around, you match all these things, and then it's got boss battles. Like you're actually going up floors. So when you beat a section, it goes, oh, you're on to floor 2, and you'll go to like 7 or so, and then like I think there's 3 different boss fights before you get to the end, and then you save your girlfriend, and then you just drive away in a car. It was really weird.
Not the skateboard?
No, there's no room for 2 on the skateboard, so that was a little disappointing.
Man.
Just ditches it like
Shoulders.
nothing.
Shoulders.
But yeah, it was actually strangely addicting. Like it started off really easy. Like sometimes it'll be in like a cluster. Sometimes there's little boxes, just to change it up, and it's kind of like pinball-y, where you can like ricochet the piece, and you got to figure out how to match the pieces because they'll be like different colors, or they're all like actually like faces, and they look like little jewels with eyes. And yeah, I'm making it sound really stupid, but it's a really fun game. And it's got an embarrassing name, like, oh, dude, I just played a bunch of Bang Bang Ball in the like, okay, how's your testicles and how big?
Yeah, pull your hands out of your pockets.
Yeah, yeah. So that needed a long explanation more than the other games. Yeah, then I beat Yuki out here. And then while I had the Dreamcast set up, I was like, I've always wanted to play this Berserk game. So I played Berserk Guts' Rage. Not that good. It's a really like slow hack and slash.
I love that game.
Yeah,
but I love.
I remember loving it back when it first came out.
Yeah, back in the day.
While, though.
Yeah, like I'm not saying that the game sucked, but the gameplay kind of sucked because it's like. I
remember hitting my sword against things all the time.
You'll watch the cutscenes, and they're really cool. It's really well animated, and then you get into like, it's like it just drops you in a little battle, and you just got to clear the battle or like clear a hallway. So there's not a lot to it. It's pretty repetitive, but it doesn't suck. But you're like you don't really upgrade to like crazy like Dante moves or anything. So if you played anything from Devil May Cry on, you'll probably find it kind of slow. But I mean, he uses a gigantic sword, so he's only so fast you can swing.
And the game came out in like '99, so it like predates so many games that were like that type of hack and slash too. So it was like one of the first as far as like those kind of games, like Dynasty Warriors, where you have like a bunch of enemies where you just kill. Like Devil May Cry. When it came out, I remember loving it though.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's not like I said, it's not awful.
I've never tried to play it now. I'm like, what is this crap? But
it's kind of clunky. It's not crap, or else I would have just stopped playing it. But I like the source material, so I stuck with it. And like the story is really good. Like I said, it's really well animated. It's pretty.
Play the other games in the series, and they're better.
Yeah, I don't.
Was it a game first, or was it an anime first?
It was a manga first, and the manga
okay.
going.
Manga and the anime.
Yeah.
Then
Manga's been going for like I don't know since 1989 or no, sometime in the 90s to now. It still hasn't ended. It's still going.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's ongoing.
I haven't caught too much of it. I've caught like the newer animes of it, like the
watch the anime, like the old anime. It is effed up.
Yeah, I heard it's like 10 times better too. I didn't mind the newer ones, but I guess that's probably because that was my first experience. So, if I liked that,
CG movies were good.
Yeah.
And then they made like a CG TV show, and that one looks like ass.
Okay.
The CG movies are good, and watch the original anime that came out, and that one's
going to check it down.
Yeah, as long as you're in, it's like gratuitous,
I'm an adult.
violence.
I love blood and guts. I love horror movies.
Yeah, so you'd love it
I'd
probably.
be at home. Yeah, that's what I mean. I was loving what I did see. Are the other games all like games I'd have to import though?
No, I think the PS4 one came out here.
I got the PS4 one. I was gonna say that's the
The
only
very
other one.
next game after that game, it only came out for PS2 in Japan.
Okay.
And then for Vita, but that one is the PS4 one as well.
Okay. Yeah, I got I actually bought that a while back on some kind of like Amazon daily deal for like $15. So
PS4 one?
I've been wanting to play that for a bit, but I wanted to play this one first because I was like, I want to check out the Dreamcast one. So I'm glad to hear that I want to play the PS2 one, but yeah, that's all the only other one I knew about was the PS2 one. So,
Yeah, PS2 one is really good. A lot better than the Dreamcast game, but that one's only in Japanese, unfortunately.
bonk. As long as it's like as straightforward as this one, I'm sure I could get through it, but it'd probably be
Yeah, it's pretty much kill shit.
yeah, chop shit up.
Yeah, just chop
reason-
shit up.
Oh, that won't be too bad then. And besides that, the last thing I beat, I've been kind of chipping away since I got through the Mystical Ninja starring Goemon. I beat Goemon's Great Adventure. I liked Mystical Ninja starring Goemon, but this is definitely the better N64 title. It's like a 2.5D like action platformer, and it's just a lot tighter. Like the Mystical Ninja is like a 3D adventure game, so it suffers from just about the same thing anything in that genre on the N64.
Yeah.
You're like, turn the camera, please.
Yeah, the second one was better,
Yeah.
more actiony. The first one on the N64 was just kind of ass, and the series has a few games that are kind of ass in it.
So I'm kind of, that was my first one I was going through. Like I've played Mystical Ninja on Legend of the Mystical Ninja on Super Nintendo. I've had that for a while, but I've never beat it. But I also got the 3 Ganbare Goemon. Sorry, I'm butchering it. Ganbare Goemon games for the Super Famicom that are basically the continuation after that. So I'm looking forward to getting through those 4, and that's pretty much what's coming up pretty soon.
I love the Super Nintendo one.
Yeah,
it's excellent. I've never beat it, but that's one of my next things I'm going to be going after.
especially 2 players. You can play that 2 players with someone.
Yeah,
It's a lot of fun.
yeah, it's kind of along the lines of Pocky and Rocky a little bit too.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta play through that too. That's another one of my games I got to get to. Anyway, speaking about things we got.
Games to get through.
Yeah, and we got a couple more topics to get through quickly. I'm going to go through the retro movie pick of this episode because it's my turn. And I went with something nearby because I totally forgot until we were about to start that it was my turn to pick. So I'm going with Zombie 2. One of my games I just selected out of movies I selected out of my collection that I figured would be great to watch while I work on the garage. And
Lucio Fulci.
yeah, I love this movie. But it's
Got games on the brain.
it's pretty. It's a pretty low budget, but that's like the most famous zombie from this movie.
Yeah, it was played off in Italy as if it was the sequel to Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah, basically that's why it's called Zombie 2.
Yeah,
Zombie.
it was called, the original. The Dawn of the Dead was called Zombie over there.
Yeah, so he's one of my favorite horror directors in general, like The Beyond and House by the Cemetery, stuff like that.
City of the Living Dead.
City of the Living Dead, yeah, like
Watch somebody puke up goat guts.
yeah, he's one of the gore masters, along with Savini. His movies never disappoint. There's always some kind
Always have some to eyeballs.
Yeah, there's something always going through an eyeball of some sort. Just testing your stomach fortitude, I guess. But yeah, if you haven't seen it, you like zombie movies, check it out. It's a different one, but it's cool.
Yeah.
All right, and I guess now we should spin that wheel.
DJ, spin that wheel.
All right, so Saru's going to play along with us and pick a game out of the backlog to check out. in this, hopefully in the near future. And here we go. This is my favorite kind of gambling because it always just comes up games. I never lose. Damn, that mushroom sure rolls. We got 10. 10 this time.
Oh, ooh.
What's everyone got under number 10?
Where's my docs?
10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 says Momodora. Reverie Under the Moonlight.
Ooh,
Church just beat all those games.
Yeah, Church just played through 1, 2, 3, and Reverie.
Did he? I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, it's a Metroidvania game. He raved about that one though. I think he said that was the best one.
Oh, was it? I got it.
Because 1, 2, and 3, I think are all
YouTuber gave it to me.
Ooh.
Intrigue Gaming gave me this.
The guy that Intrigue Gaming, he's pretty generous. He's always giving cool stuff away.
Yeah, he came to visit one time.
Yeah, I remember when he was on your stream while he was visiting, I think.
Yeah, and he brought me this game, and I have yet to get into it, but I remember him playing. I was like, that looks cool, and so he got it for me. Cool. It does look cool, though. And then I went to go read that it was part of like a big series, and I was kind of intimidated. I don't know if it's
that's what held me off from getting it. I was like, well, I'd want to play the other games, and
you know what I mean. That's like I'm the same way.
They're PC only, but we're Chris and I are a little like that too. And I was like, oh, they're PC only. I'm like, I'm probably not going to play them then. No. So I kind of passed on it. But now, after hearing Church rave about it, I'm like, oh, my dumb ass.
That's it. Now I gotta play it.
Check it out. Let us know what you think too.
Yeah, I'll give it a try.
Fun of this, we can not only bring games out of our backlogs for ourselves, but we could also recommend or dissuade other people from playing a game.
Jackie Chan Stuntmaster.
Maybe avoid. All right, Chris, what did you get?
I got the Guardian Legend on the NES.
Nice.
That is a good one.
I've played it briefly when I first got it, but I remember watching my friend Charlie, who's always in my streams as a Epic Die Studio. He it was like one of the games he had. It was one of his favorite NES games, so I watched him play it all the time.
It is a great game.
I never had a copy of it of my own back in the day until I got back into collecting. So yeah, part shooter, part Legend of Zelda adventure game.
Yeah, it's really cool. I played quite a lot of it, but I've never beat it. I really gotta. It's one of those games I gotta buckle down and play one of these days.
Well, guess what? I got no excuse now.
Well, I got an import game to play. I'll be playing Front Mission Gun Hazard.
Cool.
Famicom.
Super Famicom or regular Famicom?
Super Famicom.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's that game that I was going out of my way to try and find at MGC, and I finally found it. And it was the only thing on the Super Famicom table that wasn't priced. And I was like, there it is. How much is it? Then I had to wait for
it's free.
The guy was watching. That's anyone in retail's favorite joke. When he's scanning, it doesn't come up. Oh, it must be free. Or
they hate that shit, I bet.
Oh yeah. I worked at Walmart for a long time. The amount of times he had to go. It's great.
I would just look him dead in the eye and go derp.
Yeah, but the guy had to call, I guess, the person who owned all the stuff, and she gave him a price, and I was like, all right, well, that's reasonable. So I was happy. That was one of the Super Famicom games I really wanted, and I was like, yeah, I'll try and find. I know they get some import games at MGC. Maybe I can luck out and not have to pay.
There was a huge table of them that, I was hanging out with Musty at one of them for almost a half an hour.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you're like, I wish I could read what this is. Mm-hmm. I think it was one of only about 2 or 3 games I bought for Super Famicom there last year. Because then I went to this other booth, and they only had a small amount of import stuff. It was just kind of back to the side. I was like, is this reserved for anyone? They're like, no, you can. That's for sale. And I was like, you wouldn't know. It looks like they're put off to the side for someone. But I got Ogre Battle for Super Famicom for $6, and then I went and our friend Justin actually bought the Super Nintendo version for not $6, but
no, no, he did not.
He gave me a good deal though, so that was cool. he gave me bro price, so I appreciated that. So I was like, I don't know why I just bought this twice, but I like me some Ogre Battle. I've always wanted it, and I just need the PS1 one. So yeah, I'm excited to play it. This is different than the other front mission games, though. It's not like a tactical like RTS game. It's actually like a kind of like a run and gun in a mech suit, from what I remember which is why I really wanted it. So excited.
Yeah.
Have you ever played it?
Yeah, I have it also, and it's a lot more actiony than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Somebody sent it to me actually, like to the channel, and they're like, "Oh yeah, this is whatever." I got a better copy of it, so you can have my old one, because this one didn't have a manual, and so I guess he got a complete one and sent me the one with box and cart, and I was like, "Cool, like I don't care." And I popped it in, and I was like, "Oh man, it's like actiony." The other front mission games are RPGs, so
yeah, they're all like
to see it be an action game, I was surprised. I had no idea. I never followed the series, so it was a surprise to me.
Yeah, I've got a couple of them. I got the PS1 version and the PS2 version, so I think it's 2 and 3, and then I've got Evolved on the 360. I think that's the only ones I've got. But
Yeah, and they're all like RPG strategy type,
RTS type thing. Yeah, from what I gathered, I haven't played any of them, but yeah, the Square Enix game, so I'm sure they're well made. Well, that about does it for the Backlog Roulette. I think we all got winners this time, so I can't wait to hear what everyone thinks of their game. Definitely tweet it out after you play it. Let us know what you think of your Backlog Roulette.
Hashtag Backlog Roulette.
Yeah, hashtag Backlog Roulette. So, yeah, thank you very much for sticking around this long and chatting with us and letting us pick your brain on stuff. We really appreciate you coming and hanging out. So, yeah, I had an excellent time. I've been excited for this since we set it up. So glad we made it happen.
And we're just like the last episode. We're like, we both got FX Unit Yuki. Got to get Saru right now. Saru.
So yeah, I'm glad it worked out, and thanks again, and can't wait to play these games.
Awesome.
So, all right, we'll catch you next time. Tell us where we can find you.
On YouTube, you can go youtube.com/Saru Maru, and Twitter and Instagram, it's _Saru Maru.
Right on. What can we find you, Chris? We're gonna put all the links down.
Yeah. YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. It's the Old Ass Retro Gamer.
Yeah.
And I think now my YouTube address is now youtube.com/the Old Ass Retro Gamer. And on Twitter, it's OA Retro Gamer.
Yeah. We're not gonna make the Green Lantern joke again.
No.
Pissed you
because
off.
I will punch you through the interwebs.
Right on. Well, thanks again, Saru, and we'll catch you guys on the next episode. Bye.
Yay, yay.
Hasta la vista, baby.
In case I don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening, and good